on Monday, May 9th. The way we talk Cleveland sports will never be the same. This show is so groundbreaking, we had to create this over-the-top movie trailer just to tell you about it. The biggest names in Cleveland sports. 2 hours. Unscripted. Unhinged. Booyah! With 2 men and a lot of bull. So kick up your feet, open a 6-pack, and strap in for a f***ing great time. Cleveland Sports Show starts now.
It most certainly does.
Here we are!
I don't know about any of you guys, but I have goosebumps big enough
Yeah!
for zip codes
Get
right
it!
now.
Let's go!
Let's get it done.
G's already sweating. He's
Hello,
wearing
good
a
morning,
jacket.
and welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. If you haven't heard by now, but you clearly have because you're with us, this is a brand new experiment. We're relying on our viewers to keep us honest. We're going to have you dictate what we talk about. We're going to be on point. Obviously, it's a Cleveland sports show, so that is the main theme, and we've got a great show for you today. I'm Jay Crawford. I'm going to introduce our panel, which is going to change day to day. Every Monday through Friday, though, these 3 seats are going to be occupied by us slugs. Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, formerly of 92.3, and G. Bush. What are your thoughts as we start this new venture?
I am so excited that they have paid me money to be on TV.
You put makeup on today.
I went to the bathroom. I mean, I didn't put as much makeup as these guys.
Whoa! Don't do, listen, you're telling everybody lies.
Yes, come on.
If anybody did a lot of makeup, it was this man right here.
He doesn't
Face makeup.
He's got a whole makeup
already know.
case.
Listen,
You
paint
gotta be ready.
set.
Listen, the whole thing is ready. Before we get to that, you didn't intro me right, man. Shout out to the people. It's the people's champ. G. Bush in the building, a.k.a. the favorite, a.k.a. your mother's son that you didn't know about is in the building. You see how we get down. Look at this. Let me show me. And it's the Guardians here. Let's talk to the
Gee, you're
Guardians.
making me hot.
got
Can
your
you
name
take off
on
the
it?
jacket?
Tyvis Powell's in the building. We ready to go. Adam the Bull is in the building. Jay Crawford, let's go.
Hold on, I got to give Tyvis a better introduction. I mean, so we've been rehearsing for the whole last week.
Yeah.
Tyvis Powell was not able to be with us because
Yes.
he was becoming a father for the second time.
Yes.
And I'm told we have pictures of the newest addition to the Powell family. Will you look at this beauty?
Yeah, that's her.
Look at
her.
there.
Look at
That's
her.
the best thing you've done in a long time.
Good thing his
Yeah,
wife's
sure.
good looking.
Yes, that's
Man.
you know what? That's what I said. I said, you know what? Every time, for the second time,
Yeah.
I've looked at my daughter and I'm like, whew, we ain't got to put you in sports right away. You know, if you look like me, we got to do something to get you in sports to get a scholarship or something.
She's beautiful. We want to say congratulations.
Congratulations.
For those
Thank you
that
so
don't know, Tyvis was a member of the national championship Buckeye team in the middle of the last decade. Also, I believe you were the Ohio State MVP, defensive
Yes.
MVP in 2015.
Yes.
Dude could play is what we're saying.
It's one of those things that, I don't really brag about.
I
you
do,
know.
though.
It's one,
I'll be your front
it
man.
was one of the ones that the whole anybody on the defense could have won. I was
Yeah.
just happy that our team was able to get that
It went to
national
you. You had a
championship.
solid season.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
also
All right.
ready to argue about the Cavs. We did a pre-show.
Oh, my goodness.
And we were arguing about the Cavs. I talked these guys to my side. Jay's still out of his
no.
mind.
We gotta
You're
get
out of
to
your
this.
mind.
We got to get to
Who
it.
cares about a 2025
I'm
draft
not
pick?
coming
lie.
to your side. It's never going to happen on
Yo,
that
I'll
topic.
get you.
Just a quick
Yeah.
rundown of what we're going to have on the show. We're going to talk a Cavs trade. I think it's a little out there. First of all, it was proposed by Bleacher Report. If these guys were any good, they wouldn't be writers, they'd be GMs. So let's start
Wow.
there.
He's got something
Listen, I'm
there.
just telling you,
Oh, my
everybody in the
God.
media, we think we know, we don't, or we wouldn't be doing this, we'd be running teams.
The GMs, half
So-
of them don't know what they're doing. Let's.
Trust me,
Yeah.
those guys
Nah.
know far more what they're doing than we claim to know. the media
Did
thinks.
Freddie Kitchens know what he was doing? He's not a GM.
He wasn't
Also,
the GM.
We're going to role play later in
Yeah.
the show. If you were Roger Goodell, what would you do with this Deshaun Watson situation? That's a hot one. I really want to plug our first two guests. I think it's really appropriate. Obviously, Cleveland's a big Browns town. We're going to talk baseball first when we get going here. But we've got as our first guest on day one, Tim Couch is going to join us from his home in Lexington. Bernie Kosar is stopping by the studio.
Yes.
So right now, the obvious flashpoint for the Browns is the quarterback. What are they going to do? We're going to talk to two notable guys that have played that position in this town. They're going to help sort all of that out. We're also going to tell you about the college football mock draft. My buddy Todd McShay from ESPN has his first 2023 mock draft out. It's Buckeye heavy. We're going to go through that and give our opinions on that. And as Bull said, we're also going to talk Cavs trade. I think this trade is way out there. If it happens,
Bull,
It's
like,
the
be
it
able
gets
to
the
find out
Cavs
who's
closer
right
to
and
a
who's wrong.
title, Jay. I'm going to bring you around.
well, that's the goal.
You're obsessed
That's
with
the
a
goal.
2025 draft pick. Who cares?
I don't know,
I
Bull.
do
I
like
might
draft
jump
equity.
back with Jay.
Come on.
I'm going back
Guys,
with Jay.
I had you.
Flop.
I had you on the team already.
Let the record show the first topic ever in the history of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, your Cleveland Guardians. Guys, they're starting to put it together. 4 out of 5 now.
Yes.
Of course, it was nice to have some games at home after the long road trip. Now they start a series in Washington, which is a big deal or in Chicago. With the White Sox, because the White Sox ultimately, they're the team that they're going to have
And
to
they've
beat.
gotten back on track.
They're starting to get healthy. They're starting to get well. Let's go back to yesterday's game. It's the bottom of the 8th. Owen Miller had just hit a home run to lock it up at 3 when Oscar Mercado became the hero of the day. Check it out.
And there's another one.
Come on.
Coming around third. Here comes the big man. Here's the throw. And it's safe. Cleveland takes the lead.
Mercado's the money man. I mean, that was it's a huge hit. And
One
he
every
needed
6
it
months.
because he's been terrible.
He was on the hot seat a little bit. He was ready to be up out of this lineup.
Well,
he came through yesterday.
He's such a weird study to me. His rookie season, he was such a factor.
And he's been awful since.
He's been awful since.
Yeah.
But you still see every once in a while, you still see flashes
Yeah.
of that guy we saw the
And
rookie year.
That's what keeps you around.
That is
you
what
gotta
keeps
just
you around.
show
But
him
you
a
know what?
little flash.
Eventually, it's a what have you done for me lately league, and you've got to produce, and he's got to start.
Well, if we're doing that, then he's on cloud now,
Yeah,
right
now.
the big hits.
But if he has another bad week, he's either the minor. Well, he's going to get DFA'd or something like that.
Yeah.
By the way, does anybody know if we've gotten the truck off Fran Reyes' back yet?
I was surprised they
happened?
sent him around third base
I
on
can't
that
believe
play.
he
To
made
be
it.
honest
Yeah.
with you.
Well, hey, listen.
I think I could have gotten home faster.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna just take the
I'll
fact
put
that he
money
hit.
on that.
As long as he hitting over the last 4 or 5 games.
No,
and
he's great.
Listen, a 405, 1.045 OPS, only 12 strikeouts, and I'm always looking at the strikeouts with him because
Yeah.
it seems like feast or famine with the home run and strikeouts. As long as he hitting, I'll take it. He could run a 40 and 5.
I agree.
He is, in my view, he is the absolutely most critical player on this lineup.
Yes.
We know what Ramirez is going to do.
Yes. Yep.
If we can get Franmil Reyes to be the guy that we've seen in the past,
Yeah.
and the guy that everybody expects him to be, this Guardians team, in my view, can stick around and be competitive at the end of the year with the White Sox and the Twins. And hopefully, if not win the division, they can be in that mix for that now 3 playoff spots.
There's
on the
a
wild card
reason,
side.
guys, why the Guardians finally got going offensively for the first time against a good team. Toronto's a really good team. They're a playoff contender.
They are.
I think they're going to win the American League East when it's all said and done. So that's a top team in the best division in the American League by far, right? Boston's not playing well. But Fran Meal had been off to a terrible start this year.
Awful.
And it's not a surprise that he gets hot coming into this Blue Jay series, and he stays hot in this Blue Jay series, and they win 3 out of 4. Ultimately, Mercado and Miller got the big hits late.
Sure.
But you're right. Jose's a given, guarantee. He's one of the best players in baseball.
Yep.
Fran Meal's their second best offensive player.
Right.
They need him to be good. When he's hot, they got a chance, especially when some of these young guys, like Quan and Miller in particular, have played really well.
Is there a management staff in baseball that gets more out of less? I mean, we saw what the Guardians did in the offseason.
Zero.
They spent, they spent
Saying
no money.
Luke Maile was not a good pickup?
I don't even know who that is.
It's not going to change anyone's life.
Who is that?
But you know
He's the
what,
backup
though?
catcher.
Well, the thing of it is,
Yeah.
if you go back over the last decade, they're the
really-
most. They've
they'll
got
do a
more
lot.
regular season wins than anybody else in the American League.
It's amazing.
And they're not spending anywhere near the money that the Yankees and the Red Sox and the White Sox and
Even the
the
Blue
Rangers
Jays.
are
Even the Blue
spending.
Jays
Even the
spend
Blue
a
Jays.
lot. Yeah.
Everybody spends more than the Guardians.
That's a fact.
Yet somehow this front office manages to keep this team relevant. Now I know Tito has a lot to do with that.
No doubt.
You can give him a subpar lineup, and he's going to flirt with 500 all year. They're finally back to 500, which is great.
Yes.
Typically, Tito's teams start slow and then they figure it out by June 1st and they're off and running. If they can have figured it out by the beginning of May, which it seems like this year, that's when they've turned the corner. I mean, when you look at these results, the 2 one-run games are what really impressed me. All 6 games on the road stand, they did not score first. Their opponent scored first.
Right.
4 of them they came back to win.
Resilient.
That shows grinding, great at-bats. Quan can be 0-2, and I have no doubt he's going to get to a full count.
I love the fact that they're now scoring. You know, my main qualm with the Indians is, okay, you got Bieber, you got the good
That's
pitching.
the first one in the jar right there.
But now,
Yeah, you called them Indians, bro.
how much,
We'll get the jar.
This jar is gonna be crazy. On top of that, don't mess me up a little bit. There we go. Guardians, by the
Shame
way,
on
put
you.
that right now. They're hitting the ball, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 parts to baseball. It's called, well, it's actually 3: defensive, pitching, and offense. And with the Guardians are looking around, they can't score runs. They're getting 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs.
I think
maximum.
that's starting to change.
I'm
though.
about to say they turned in the corner.
They turned in the corner, and that's what I'm really happy about is the fact that now it looks like they're getting timely hits. Guys are good at bats, not going up there striking out in 4 pitches, getting a good look. I think this is what the Guardians.
You think
need
they
to do.
compete for a wild card?
They got to do something against the White Sox. For me.
I talked you into that last
That's
week.
where I'm at too.
Yeah,
How they do against the White Sox?
Sox,
Will
They
really
got to make.
dictate
They're going to
a
have
lot.
to make a trade at some point. They're going to have to get another bat. You know, these young guys are going to be up and down, right? Quan got off to a magnificent start, cooled off a little bit. Now he's picking it up again. Quan and Miller are really good at they don't have enough power ultimately. Quan is not going to hit for a ton of power, right? A lot of these guys, they're going to need another big bat, veteran bat in the middle of the lineup. And I just have to hope that because they spent no money this offseason and no money last season, that there's a little bit in the budget for a bad team that's got a good slugger that we can put in the middle of the lineup.
I want to be fair though. We're saying that they spent no money. That's not completely true. They extended Jose Ramirez, and from as far as I'm concerned, this Guardian season would have gone off the rails before opening day if they had traded him to say the Blue Jays or the Padres.
Then they're
the Blue
finished.
Jays
So we'd be in the
wanted him
red
desperately.
situation.
But they spent no money to make this team
It's
better
money
this
though,
year.
Bull. It's dollars. And
Long-term
they spent
money.
it. But they wrote those checks.
I give them
and
credit for that.
counts.
But they didn't add any talent. They added no talent.
Not to their roster.
That contract
Not this
didn't make
year.
the team
but
better
what
this
they
year.
did, guys, was they essentially guaranteed that they're finally going to have the first guy in maybe 60 years that was a notable star start his career and perhaps end his career in a Cleveland uniform. That hasn't happened, guys, in the modern era of baseball.
It's
and by modern, I mean
a new
really,
day in Cleveland
my
for
lifetime.
sure.
I remember just a few weeks ago, CC Sabathia is back in town. He's talking about his time and going off with New York, and I just sitting there thinking about the list of names. What really started to hit me. You had CC, and then you have the Cliff Lees and the Victor Martinez.
Oh, before that, Bell, Ramirez,
all the guys from the
Tomey,
90s.
Lofton. They all came and went.
And now you get a guy like
And
J-Ram.
Lindor and Brantley more
recently.
recently.
And Bull said something that hit me. He said Jose Ramirez is the most decorated player in Cleveland right now. He's
no
the
doubt.
most out of all of the sports.
Most accomplished guy.
Most accomplished guy.
Yeah.
And I had to sit back and think about that. And I said, man, this guy is really a really good ball player. And he's borderline, if he can continue to keep playing, he's borderline a Hall of Fame type guy.
If he
shot.
keeps doing what he's doing, he's
a
a
shot.
Hall of
He
Famer.
definitely
I
will
think
be.
he is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
What we've seen from him so far, what we don't know is how long can he continue to do it. But if his career arc continues where it is, he's going to Cooperstown.
He's got a good shot.
And what I have to applaud the Dolans and the Guardians ownership group because they do have a new owner that's coming on. And by the time he gets
Well, they
here,
better, 'cause
he'll
this
be
one's-
paying for a lot of those dollars on the
Yeah.
contract. But what's critical to me is, guys, if he wasn't re-signed and he's in a Blue Jays uniform, had he come to town this past weekend as a member of the Blue Jays, I shudder to think what this team would be without him, both on the field and at the turnstile. Their attendance this year would have been
It's
as
already
horrible.
bad.
It's already bad.
Yeah, right.
You take Jose Ramirez out of this lineup.
Yeah.
But you know what he's done by signing this contract extension, guys? This is the second team-friendly deal he's signed.
Yep.
If he were to hit the open market, Jose Ramirez, that's $20 million a year. That's what
250.
he'll
He would've got
average
250.
for his extension moving out. Because
Yeah.
he still has 25 left on these 2 years.
Right.
So if you add it all up, it's more than $20 million a year. But guys, this is a $30 million a year player. That's just
Easy.
The Blue
Easily.
Jays were
Yeah.
instantly going to trade and re-sign him to that kind of a deal. So were the Padres. He's he gave the city and the fan base a huge break by taking the hometown discount. He came out and said, I want to play here. But I was stunned recently when I read comments from his agent. His agent actually went public with the fact that this essentially was a bad deal. And all of the advice they were getting was for him not to sign it. Rafa Nieves said, I tried to talk him out of it. Everyone tried to talk him out of it. Is he underappreciated by the Cleveland fan base considering that he decided to come here at about a $10 million a year loss? Imagine that, guys.
I think Guardians fans understand how good he is. Yes. I think the casual fan maybe not. Jay, his agent, if I were Jose Ramirez, I'd fire my agent right now. Yeah. I would immediately fire him. For him to make that comment is absurd. Listen, I've said it a million times. If Francisco Lindor wants to get $300 million, $350 million, if he wants every last dollar, I got no beef with him.
I don't either.
You want every last dollar?
Yeah.
But if a player says, does it matter in the end if I get 150 or 200 million? I'm comfortable in Cleveland. I'm happy here. Why am I going to rip a guy? Just like I'm not going to rip a guy for taking every last dollar, I'm not going to rip a guy who says my happiness and my comfort is more important.
I have more respect for a guy doing that.
No, I'm about to say, definitely got respect.
Do you think it was more of a situation where he's saying, look, man, I know the value in Jose Ramirez. He gave you a discount. He's not saying that, I was trying to hate on the move. He's saying, look, my job is to get you the last.
But everybody knows that, G. Yeah, everybody knows he could have gotten more.
To G's point, here's what Rafa was doing.
He comes off insecure.
Right. What Rafa was doing was, for anybody that wasn't inside baseball that knew how this deal went down, he's protecting his reputation as an agent.
Jay, everybody in the game knows it, though. Everybody in the game knows it.
The diehard seam heads know that. But Bull, I'll tell you, I've dealt with agents long enough to know they've got two masters they're serving. First and foremost, the player. They have to make sure the player is happy. They have to make sure that he's got the deal that's best for him, and that doesn't always mean the deal that has the most zeros at the end of it. But he also has to make sure, for his own preservation, that if he wants to continue to get clients, he has to put out there loud and clear.
And first,
this wasn't me, man. This was Jose being Jose.
And by working with agents, they have other people around the league.
Yeah.
When you pick an agent, don't you look at, wow, he got him a check.
Absolutely.
He got him a bag.
That's the number one thing I'm going to look at first of all. But an agent's always going to try to get you the best deal. That's going to get the most money because they're getting a percentage of that. So of course they want you to take the most money so they can get their little 3%. But if you're in a place where you're happy, like you can't put a price on peace of mind.
Don't mess with happy.
Yeah, you cannot put a price on peace of mind. If I like it here and I want to be here, then that's where I'm going to be. It don't matter about the money. I mean, I need to save some money because obviously we need to make some more moves. I think he did the Guardians a huge service by leaving them money so they can make moves.
Yeah, that's very true.
And he set life. It's not like he's hurting for money.
No, that's the thing.
He could have gotten a lot more. I get it. We all get that. But everybody knows that.
Bull,
the agent is out of line.
You know what? To your point,
you want the agent?
Not like the agent.
Get him up out of here.
If he were my agent, I fired my.
You know what I'd like to
my
know?
Agent sucked. I fired him. I got rid of him.
I would like to know this. I would like to know if, before Rafa went public with that statement, did he tell Jose he was going to do it?
That's a great question.
Because otherwise, Ramirez is blindsided by this and said, bro, you're making me look like I can't count.
Right.
You're making me look
dumb. I would fire him if that's the case.
So I would think that they have the kind of relationship where Jose probably was aware. Here's what I love most about Jose Ramirez, aside from the fact that he's going to give you 110% of his energy on every play, not just every game, every play. His signature move is his batting helmet flying off because he's trying so hard.
That's right.
So when you look at what this guy has done for the city of Cleveland, he's the only guy left from the 16 roster that was a few outs from winning a World Series. When you look at what he's done for the city of Cleveland, it makes me sad that he doesn't have tremendous English-speaking skills, because if the market could connect with him, he could have all-time great status here in the city because of what he did. What does $350 million buy you that $240 million can't?
Nothing.
No.
So at some point,
He'd be on more billboards and whatever.
Yeah,
He's decided that's not important to him.
Do you need 3 private jets, or will 2 do?
No, what I'm
you know
saying
what I mean?
Jose, but you're talking about he could make more money and do all this stuff.
He could.
He's comfortable with who he is. He can speak English. He's not as comfortable speaking English in public. That's just who he is, and he's comfortable with himself. That's why he's such a great superstar, guys, because he's a superstar player who doesn't behave like a superstar.
And he had an opportunity to do that when Francisco Lindor was here. He knew Francisco was getting 300, whatever crazy.
He also
amount of
knew
money.
that Francisco was going to chase the money.
And he was going to chase the dimes and the nickels. But I like the fact that I think the Guardians said, look, when Frankie left and the pandemic hit, I think they made a conscious decision to say, look, we're going to pay this guy. Because he's the last remnant, and I think after the pandemic, they thought we got to at least have one guy that we can hang our hat on.
Don't give him too much credit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Bull.
They got lucky that he took less.
They
wouldn't have paid him more.
They should be on their knees
Yes.
saying prayers every night. Thank you that Jose isn't so greedy.
They would have had to give him some money, period.
They would never
but here's
paid him the
they would have
Lindor
had to,
amount.
but you know what would have happened? Ultimately, Rafa would have made this deal. He would have said to the Padres, are you cool with the sign and trade? Because the Indians do want parts that will make them better in the future. Yeah, they would have worked out the sign and trade even before the deal was made, okay? So Rafa would have had a deal, a piece of paper ready for Jose to sign that would have said 5 years additional, plus the 2 that are already going that they have to inherit from the Guardians. 5 additional years at $175 million, because I believe he could have got that much. He could have got over $30 million a year. And at that point, the Guardians and Dolan, I don't even look. I would shudder to think what this team would be. Right now, they're 14-14. They're 500.
But now they got to take advantage of it, Jay. They got to spend some money on other players.
I know they do, but they can.
Right?
They can though because they didn't.
Yes.
Like I told anybody that would listen, you signed Frankie Lindor to a $35 million deal. Kiss your relevancy goodbye. This market can't support a player like that with that kind of a salary. If you don't believe me, go look and see what Detroit became after they gave Miggy that kind of money. They've been irrelevant for the last 7 years.
Well, they had a much higher payroll.
They did, but when they gave Miggy that money, it was so long-term in the future. Miggy already had a bad back at that point.
Yeah, well,
and
that was
they're
a
giving
bad
him $35 million a year forever. They're still
these teams can
a
spend,
basement
though.
feeder because of that.
Yeah, but these teams can spend. They
not
play
the
games.
Guardians.
They can spend a lot. They could have
can't.
$150 million
Of course they could. They've done it, and when they did, they were relevant. But what I'm saying is, had J-Ram not given them the team discount,
it made it easier for them. But now you do something.
it made life bearable.
That's what I'm saying. It's only a positive if the Guardians choose to do something with it.
That's right.
You got a guy that's selfless like that puts the team before. You have to take advantage of this and get him some help. If you don't get him no help, it was pointless.
I want to move it along to our next topic. One of the things you're going to see on this show is our producer. Smart guy, young guy, super, super aggressive when it comes to the business.
He's single.
He's single, ladies. Producer Mike is going to he's going to read the top 5 for us. This is his top 5. First of all, let's say hi to Mike. Can we take Mike's camera?
Big
Mike,
Mike.
how you doing, brother? Welcome to Cleveland.
Can you guys hear me?
We
It
can
looks
hear
like
you.
Mike's in jail.
Let's go. And we're getting a
looks like he's in
background
jail.
behind us.
Yeah, it's coming.
In a few days.
And he
It's
definitely
coming.
looks like the white-collar criminal. Like he didn't do
right.
anything really that hardcore.
So tell us how this top 5 list works.
All right.
How do we do this every day?
Yeah, so every day we're going to do a top 5 list, 5 random topics, sometimes sports, sometimes non-sports.
All right.
And we want you guys to give us your feedback. We'll post it on social media. If you agree with us, if you hate us, let us know. But you have to have some sort of opinion on the top 5.
All right, go ahead. What's the topic today?
Top 5 ballpark foods today. Inspired by my trip to Progressive Field
Ballpark
yesterday.
foods today.
Today.
Like as in today in the 21st or 22nd century, right?
Yes.
What century
Okay.
are we in?
Oh,
Number
wow.
5 is nachos. Easy.
I have that higher on my list.
I
but
got that higher on my list.
I think
as
everybody
well.
agrees you can't go wrong with nachos. Bull, you're shaking your head.
All depends.
Oh,
on
no.
messy.
All depends on who's not.
I
I'm a
can't.
very neat
I'm about
guy.
to say, I can't believe you said that.
I'm very neat, man. I love my food. I can eat. But nachos, a little too messy.
All right, what's number 4?
Yeah.
I would have nachos higher.
Listen,
on my
nachos
list.
is good.
All right.
Hot dogs are better. You can't go to a ball
I don't
game
eat
and not have
snouts and
hot
hooves.
dogs.
Snouts and hooves are not in my top 5.
Might have to agree.
They
with
got to
that.
be all.
Jay and I are actually on the
They're-
same page on this.
all
I'm not a hot
beef.
dog guy.
What?
beef.
I'm
Titus,
anti-hot
are
dog.
you?
That's probably 1 on my list.
I'd rather have a
I
sausage
got
than hot
to
dog.
have it.
How is
Really?
y'all
I
gonna
got
be
to have
purists?
it.
How you gonna be a purist?
I'm not
and
a
you don't-
purist.
You're a baseball purist, and y'all don't
I'm
know
new
hot
school,
dogs?
man.
Bro, did you ever see hot dogs made?
Hey, listen, we don't need to know how they made.
Let me guess.
I'll admit that's not the reason I don't eat it. I just
You a peanut
they just
guy?
don't do. No, I'm anti-peanuts too.
Bull likes nothing.
Pop,
on the
what
list.
the heck do you
Popcorn,
get?
yeah, popcorn.
You're wrong on that. But snouts and hooves all ground up and put into a sick skin and put on a bun.
Have you ever had cow tongue?
You don't like, whoa.
No, and I
I've
never
had
will.
cow tongue. It's
They've been
delicious.
watching way too many
I
documentaries.
yeah, you need
not-
to.
All right, what's number 3?
Snouts
What's
and
number
hooves.
3?
Yeah, give us number
Hot dog.
3.
Number 3, not just ice cream, but ice cream specifically in a souvenir helmet.
Okay, I'm with
Can't
that.
beat it.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Love ice cream.
That should be lower
That's
on the
fi-
list.
that's 5 right
Yeah.
there. This
Love
is
ice
no way
cream,
that's a
but here's the
3.
thing with ice cream: you got to eat it right away. You can't wait till you get back. You see it's going to be melted.
It'll be gone. You'll
I
drink
can't have ice
You'll
cream
drink
soup.
it.
You can't have nothing.
Hey, you can't be.
No, I want ice cream. I
Hey,
love it, but I
okay.
can't wait. I got to eat it right away.
If me and you go to the game, both of us can't be just sitting next to each other, ice cream.
No.
I
Not-
want to
not
see
me
you
and
two.
you.
No.
That's what I want to see. I want to see you two eating ice cream out of the hat.
No.
I
With a
don't,
pig
I don't see
spoon,
either of
dude.
you guys
No,
doing
we-
that.
no,
I just
Not at
don't.
all.
Too
Can't
cool
do
for
that.
that.
All
Okay,
right.
number 2.
Number 2, this is tough. Top 2, easy for me, but number 2, a soft pretzel.
I respect
Love
that.
It's got to have melted cheese on
I respect
it.
that.
If it's got cheese on it, I'm in.
I'm in for the plain pretzel. It's gotta be
Really?
you got to have a lot of salt though.
Bull.
2 seeds.
But listen, I don't know.
No,
who
you can
I
have
don't
the
know-
cheese.
I don't know who you
No,
trying to fool.
you can have the cheese, but he said no. No,
I want
Listen,
cheese. I want mine
Bull,
smothered
you-
in cheese.
I don't eat. I don't like
you
cheese
gotta
on a
have-
You
pretzel.
shooting down every food up here.
No, not the ice cream. That's the most calories.
You know Bull's list is? Bull's list is pizza at 5. Pizza
No, I
at
don't eat
4,
pizza at a
pizza
ballpark.
at
Are you
3,
nuts?
Pizza at 2.
No.
Pizza at 1.
No pizza.
I'm interested to
Not
see.
at the ballpark.
All right, I'm dying to see what you
Yeah.
have at number 1. It better not be
I love
peanuts.
pretzel.
No, number 1, chicken fingers and fries. It's
No.
mobile. You can move it from
No.
seat to seat.
No.
That's
That-
terrible.
Sauces, it's the undefeated,
Is this-
undisputed number 1
Bro,
breakfast
Is
snack.
this
First of
your
all,
list?
That's
This
his
is my
number.
list.
That's his list.
This is wrong.
Chicken finger.
No.
What are you,
You
13?
need, you need to go out with
Chicken
me.
fingers, that's what my
because
son
this is
eats.
wrong.
And I'm pretty
Ballpark.
sure they cook them at the stadium. I think they cook them in a microwave.
And the fries suck. They're always cold. They're
Yeah.
Chicken
I can't
fingers
fries
They're
in a ballpark.
mobile. You can move from seat to seat. You don't
Everything's
spill
mobile.
It.
But
What are
they
you talking
taste like
about?
All
rubber.
of that was mobile.
Everything's
No.
mobile.
Wow.
No.
Chicken
They're
fingers
not
and
messy.
fries.
It's
All
easy to
right.
keep it contained.
Th-
They
your
are
list was
messy. They're
okay. Well,
greasy.
let's just go around the horn and find
Yeah.
out what everyone's number 1 is. What do you have?
Mine
number
is the
1?
pretzel. I love a
Pretzel?
hot
Okay.
pretzel. I could eat like
Hot-
14 hot pretzels.
Hot dog.
Hot dog number
It's
1.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Popcorn, man.
Popcorn. That's for movies.
Popcorn.
G.
bro.
Bush is wrong.
Dude, it's peanuts and Cracker Jacks in the song.
Cracker Jacks suck.
They
Cracker
do, but
Jacks
the
are
song
awful.
is peanuts and
It's
Cracker
true.
Jacks.
It's
Popcorns are for
popcorn,
movies.
And then it's hot pretzel game.
Hot pretzel,
Y'all
baby.
got regular food on there. They're like spaghetti and meatballs.
Hey, listen, I would eat spaghetti and meatballs if they had it.
From
I'm not
Animal
kidding you.
Farm.
And I don't care if I get it all over the front of
Yeah,
it.
but you're skinny.
about
G.
that.
Bush and I will have the spaghetti meatballs all over our shirt.
I'm going nachos is my
Right?
number 1.
I just hit my
And we're gonna
microphone.
post this on Twitter and
I
Instagram.
love
If you guys
nachos.
agree,
Chicken
disagree,
fingers
let
and
us know.
fries,
This is
Mike.
what we want.
Chicken fingers
all
and fries
That's
is like
why
a
they
10-year-old.
have. That's why they have dollar dog nights
There it
because
is.
the hot
I
dogs.
prefer
is like a top
sausage
thing.
to a dog at the ballpark.
These
I like a
guys.
sausage.
I respect
Ty, I got
that.
a rule. I got a rule. Anything that can be sold at a profit for $1, I'm not eating.
That's a fair point.
I'm not eating
Well, yeah.
because I don't know what went in it.
That's like
Well,
8
there you go.
cents worth of meat
I don't
there.
need pig eyeballs ground up and put into a sandwich.
I'm
food.
not
But it's
anti-big
good,
eyeballs
though.
necessarily.
You're not supposed to really know what it is.
You don't want to think
but
about
I do.
If you think
And I
about
can't forget
everything you eat, you will eat just salad.
Yeah, you're right. No, you know what, bro?
Jay's got his celery and
my-
peanut butter.
Look.
My
at
daily
this, look at
snack
this.
right here.
Every day,
Celery
chopping on
and
this
peanut
celery
butter.
here.
I love it. Try it, man. It's great in between
Tom
meals.
Brady would be proud.
Yeah.
I know it would. I
No,
know it
it's
would.
sugar, not peanut
Hey,
butter.
bro.
You can't tell I
I'm
eat
the
a lot of
oldest one
celery.
here. I'm the
Yeah,
oldest one
that's
here.
true.
So I'm going to tell you this. The older you get, the more it will stick to your ribs if you just look at it.
Oh,
Okay?
I know that.
Well, but you're a young man yet. You're a young man yet.
No, I
Wait
woke
till
up.
you get older. The
Yeah, you're not
metabolism slows down. It gets worse.
know,
it's
I'm-
like a snowball rolling down the mountain. The more it rolls, the more snow it picks up, and the bigger it gets.
I was
like-
skinny as a rail when I was 40. Now, it's all gone to hell.
I feel like that with having kids. Ever since I had my kids, I can't
Like,
lose weight.
Does your
It's
wife
tough.
hold you to an unrealistic standard?
No,
she
she-
want the old state.
No,
pile.
that's me. I want the old state. She's like,
Yeah.
Tyrus, I want you to get a little gut
Oh,
to
that-
you.
What's that man
And I'm
belly?
just like, no.
I'll
Like,
teach you. I'll teach you how to get the
No,
man
I'm
belly.
cool. I got two daughters. I gotta be ready. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta,
you do. You have to be
That's
ready.
true. You're gonna have to beat up all the guys coming to the door.
Yes, trust me, there will be a long line of them that come
Yes,
to your
that's
door. I've
right.
seen pictures of your baby girls. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right into your wheelhouse. I want to talk Ohio State Buckeyes. anyways, really college football. One of the things that we most love about college football, once the season ends, there's so much that we get to pay attention to. First of all, the draft is so fun.
Yes.
But it doesn't take long for the draft to end before you already have guys putting out mock drafts. And my buddy from ESPN, Todd McShay, who I think does a great job with the mocks, he's told me many times off the record he hates doing them. It's a crapshoot. You might as well throw darts. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And ultimately, next April, guys are going to go back and say, yo, you had Will Anderson being the 3rd pick, man. You know, whatever. He's going to have hits and misses. But here's his top 5. And what really got me, guys, was CJ going number 1 to the Houston Texans. And then the guy that won last year's Heisman Trophy is below him, Bryce Young. Then you got Will Anderson. I think defensive end's always a position that teams love to go up and draft someone high there. And Smith and Jigba, guys, is number 4. So you've got 2 Buckeyes in the top 5. And then Jalen Carter, of course, who is ready for the league right now, in my view, could be a star right now.
Jay, let me ask Ty
number
this.
5.
Are we finally going to end, like, we know Buckeyes dominate the NFL.
Yeah.
But the one position
Quarterback.
is quarterback.
Listen.
You've never had any success at that position in the NFL to this point. Is that going to finally end with Stroud?
It should end with Fields. If the Chicago Bears would do right by
they're
him
screwing him
and
over.
get him an offensive line and get him some wide receivers, he's a great quarterback. I mean, he went out there last season and made $1 out of 15 cents a lot of times.
He did.
So I don't know why they're not, getting him help there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he does need a lot of help. What do you guys make of that list, though? Do you think is everybody here in agreement that CJ is going to be the number 1 overall pick?
I mean, it's hard to say for sure this early.
No, it ain't.
You think
You got him.
You're completely convinced.
Yeah. Listen, last year, that was CJ's first season starting as a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Since high school,
It looked like it
been
was his 10th.
And he came in there at the beginning of the season. It was rough. He had a little rough patch, but every quarterback does. It was points where Ohio State, the fans was like, get him out of there. Get the next guy in there. He blocked out the noise and came out there and had this Heisman season where he didn't win it, but he was down in New York for it.
That's the crazy part about it. This year, there was no quarterbacks taken in the first round. So you know what that means.
One.
Right?
There was one.
The kid from Pitt.
But guess what that means? They got 6, up to 6 that could be drafted in the first round. I think Stroud or Bryce Young will be the number 1 overall pick. Here's the problem. When you look at the Ohio State offense, are they going to be a running team?
They need to go back to
They'll have balance.
Because to me, they had 3 of one of the top receivers in the game last year, but they didn't win. They didn't win a game that counted against Michigan, and they lost that game because they got lost up front, and they weren't able to run the ball and do what they needed to do.
Well,
I think if they can get back to that and mix it up a little bit.
Well, let me help you out.
Let
me help you out. You are 100% correct. That's why they made some coaching changes. They got a new offensive line coach in there. If you looked at the offensive line last year, they had essentially 4 tackles on the offensive line. Their guards was actually tackles.
They still couldn't stop Michigan's pass rush.
Right. So now they they actually got real guards in there again, and they moved the people back to tackle. So it should be a traditional offensive line. The run game should open up, and Travion Henderson should be one of those guys. As a matter of fact, I think he's the biggest threat to C.J. Stroud.
Dude, I think, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb right now, and I'm going to say both those guys are going to be in New York for the Heisman ceremony.
Yeah.
And think about how hard that would be to do for a running back to compile the kind of numbers that would be necessary for him to get to New York, and for a quarterback to do it in the same offense. I think they're going to do it.
Well, because they should dominate.
They're going to be a pinball machine
Big
on
Ten.
offense.
Yeah.
They have the whole offense back.
The Big Ten.
I know they lost great
They're
receivers,
kill Michigan
but
this year, right?
I think listen, I think he's going for 100. I know Ryan Day. He's a competitor, fierce competitor. That team up north game, he's pissed. He's coming for 100 this year.
Let's compare some numbers here, because when you look at Stroud's season last year, he had a tremendous season. But he's also got to beat out, if he's going to be the number 1 draft pick and win the Heisman, he's got to beat out the guy that won it last year. And Bryce Young's stat, when you just look at the numbers, as impressive as CJ's numbers are, Bryce did it too. He did it for 3 more games. He put up more numbers, obviously, in all the categories. His QBR was slightly below it, but I always come back to this. When I'm trying to handicap the Heisman pick, when there is a returning player that won it the year before, there's a reason Arch is the only guy in the one-man club.
People want to vote for somebody else.
They want to vote for somebody else. They like the fact that it's only been done once, but also there's so much media attention on the person that won it and is coming back, and not just media attention, pressure.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be super hard for Young to repeat the kind of season that he had.
Yeah.
I think for CJ, I think he's going to have a better season.
I think both of them kind of in the same boat. You know, they both lost their receivers.
They did.
Young lost Mechie
boy,
and
Ohio
James,
State's cupboard isn't bare, though, bro.
Listen, CJ got Jackson Smith and Jigma. He's going to do his thing for sure. But
and it looks like Harrison Jr. is going to be his
1,800, 8 book it. He's getting
How much longer, guys, can the Buckeyes keep Brian Hartline there?
Listen, I think he's going to be a head coach he'll be there this year.
That's going to be tough.
But after this year,
you see, they had to pay Coach Hartline a lot of money just to keep him because I'm sure he's a hot commodity.
And they were able to do that, but eventually there's going to be another Big Ten program.
Right.
There's going to be an SEC program. Somebody's going to come along and look at what he's done with receivers. And they're going to say, look, we're going to entrust this guy to our offense. And I don't think he's going to make the jump from wide receiver coach to offensive coordinator. I think he's going right to the captaincy from where he is now. I do, because I think he's
I tell you what, he's a nice guy.
When
he's
they find
really good dude.
he's a smart guy, he's
Yes.
a super nice guy, but he's proven that he can take obviously A-plus talent because Ohio State isn't bringing any schlubs in at receiver, but a lot of schools do.
I mean, but
his just keep hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting.
Think about it. What gives him so much success is that Chris Olave was a 3-star.
Yeah.
And
I know he was.
And did you know how they got Chris Olave? They went to go scout the quarterback.
Yeah.
And they ended up seeing Chris Olave.
Who's that guy?
And they was like, let's get that guy. And he ends up breaking the receiving touchdown record at Ohio State.
We're going to go to break because when we come back on the other side, we're going to have Tim Couch with us, and we're going to take a hard right turn to the Browns. But I want to put a bow on this segment by asking you guys this. I know it's hard to say who's going to be the final 4 teams in college football.
Yeah.
Do the Buckeyes play for and do they win the upcoming national championship? Because a lot of folks have them at preseason number 1. Bull, you start.
I say they get to the Final Four but don't win the championship.
That's a hater response. They're going to win it. They're going to get there and win it.
Some would say that's a homer response.
Yeah, that's right.
So from hater to homer, break the tie.
I think they get there. I actually think they win it. That's only if they run the ball and Travion Henderson.
I'm
is
talking
the man.
about, G.
Listen, no, you know what? So I'm going to explain that pick for real quick with mine because I'm going to say they get there and lose. Here's what I've done as a Cleveland/Ohio sports fan. I lower my expectations. I lower my expectations. That way I'm ready for it if they lose, and if they win, I'm pleasantly surprised. If during the course of my lifetime I had bet $1,000 on my teams, the Browns, the Indians, the Cavs, and the Buckeyes, when they've played in the biggest, most meaningful games, I'd be a multimillionaire because my teams have all lost on the big stage.
Whoa.
Only the Buckeyes.
I'm about to say, whoa.
The Buckeyes have given me in my lifetime 2 national championships, and the Cavs just gave me a national championship in 2016. Other than that, it's a whole lot of zeros
Browns
and a whole lot of
haven't
tears.
played a lot of big games.
No, they haven't, but even in the AFC championship games,
Right.
I'm older than you. I sat there and ripped my Bernie Kosar poster off the wall with tears in my eyes after the fumble and the drive, and I've lived them all, and my teams always lose big games. So what I've done is I tell myself, yeah, they're going to lose. That way when they win, I'm super excited. We're taking a break. When we come back on the other side, we're thrilled to be joined by former Browns quarterback Tim Couch. Also, we're going to have a little role-playing, guys. You're the commissioner of the NFL, and you have to make a ruling now based on what we know in the public domain on what happened between Deshaun Watson and the 22 women. What penalty are you serving up? That's coming up in Tim Couch when we come right back. Stay with us.
We face challenges every day, some are bigger than others, and we never know what's around the corner.
Through the highs and the lows, whatever we face it together. Each morning on Go, we are here with the facts, because what impacts you impacts all of us.
And understanding those facts helps us to make informed decisions for our families, our communities, and our future.
We are here for you every step of the way. Go, weekday mornings, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
What matters most to me is family. Sometimes you don't realize how important it is until you're away from them.
What matters most to Jay? His family. He is a big family man. What matters most to me? My family, my safety, your safety.
I think the thing that most impresses me about Betsy is her versatility. Give her any assignment that involves going in front of a television camera, and she's going to knock it out of the park.
What's new with Betsy and Jay? Weekdays at 5 on 3.
Seeing, knowing, and understanding Northeast Ohio is something we take very seriously.
Because in our connected world, what happens in one community can have an impact on others,
leading to difficult challenges and opportunities for reflection and growth.
So, for in-depth analysis of how today's top stories affect you, your family, and our communities across Northeast Ohio,
Join us for 3 News at 6.
so you know what matters most.
Recognize that feeling? It is the feeling of being together, enjoying the company of a familiar face, and sharing moments that matter to you, to me, to us. What matters to some could impact all of us, especially in a place like Northeast Ohio. Here, stories are shared from east to west to south. Stories of perseverance, of family, of love. If a story brings us together, it's what matters most.
Sports show. Just a couple of quick comments from the first segment. They're killing producer Mike on his chicken fingers.
Deservedly so.
As
That's
they
for
should.
10-year-olds.
A couple other things that our viewers are fascinated by.
They like my ankles, my sexy ankles.
They're fascinated that
I
the
have
guys on the
socks
wings
on.
do not have socks. So no.
I have socks. They're just really short.
You have the no-shows.
You want to see my legs?
But the guys with the shoe game in the middle.
You know, just it's something light. It's a light day. It's light.
Didn't want to kill him on the first day.
No, those are hot.
I ain't want to do
These guys
too much.
called each other before the show to pick which shoes
those
they
are
wear.
fire.
Brothers got ESP.
I
I
no
automatically
communication.
knew.
You just knew.
Just knew.
My favorite part was, so Tyvus came in wearing his kicks. How important are shoes to G. Bush? We're all sitting down. We're all ready to go. About 5 minutes to air. He breaks out the brand new pristine box with the tissue
Boys,
paper
they
still
touched
in
the
it.
ground.
Guys, for day one, I'm going brand new Jordans.
I
and
knew he
pulls
was
them
coming.
out.
I knew he was coming with it. I said, no.
Yeah, but I loved how you waited till the
Listen,
very last
he
second.
won up me on this one. I got him the next
You
time.
guys can't top my grandpa sneakers now.
Those are
take
mall
it easy.
walkers.
What do you got? The New Balance?
Very comfortable.
Those
yes.
are the old man mall walking shoes.
Yeah. But
That's what I wear them for. I got my orthotics. I'm ready to go.
And they're the same price as Jordan's.
All right, I am thrilled to be able to announce that the first guest on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is someone who's very near and dear to my heart. I'm going to tell you guys something that you did not know about me. In my first job, small market in eastern Kentucky, I had never been there. One of the athletes that I covered during my time there was a standout 8th grader who was so good at basketball, he didn't just start on his varsity team, he dominated on his varsity team. Later in life, I loved him because he became the Cleveland Browns' #1 overall first pick after we came back. And then I was lucky enough for a couple of years before I signed at Channel 3 here to do the preseason games with our next guest when they were when the games are over on Channel 5, and they didn't want me to be a part of them anymore when I came to Channel 3, so I had to say goodbye. But I had a great time working with him. Tim Couch, welcome, my friend, to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I covered you in the 8th grade, bro. I knew before anybody who you were.
Man, that's going way back, isn't it?
The way back machine.
It's good to see you guys.
Dude, it's great to see you again, and we're going to have fun.
Wait,
we're
Jay,
going to
hold
get
on
to
one
all kinds of
second.
topics. Go ahead, Bull.
Hold on a second. I'm getting word from Schefter. There's a report that Tim Couch is coming back to the NFL as a linebacker. Look at the size of this guy.
Oh, no. You can't even tell right
Man,
here.
I got a lot of free time to work out.
Yeah.
Tell me, is there any way I can get with you and get on your workout plan? Listen, I got 2 daughters
absolutely,
now.
Man. You're looking good, too. Man. Hey, I need to get on your plan.
And Tim do lifts that you don't do no more. He be doing deadlifts.
Oh, that's the one.
Snatches.
When we were doing the Browns preseason games, we'd go over to camp, and the players would look at Tim and be like, bro, you are yoked, man.
I know.
Like,
I got to work harder.
We got a helmet for you if you want to go. You've done a great job keeping not just fit, but like the dude could be on Fitness Magazine if he wanted to. All right, I'm going to start. We're going to circle back. We're going to have a lot of fun as we go on, but I want to start with really the hot button issue for all Browns fans, Tim. So the Browns knew what they had with Baker Mayfield. They were a playoff team in 2020, but now they've gone out and they've really broken up the model with Deshaun Watson. Where are you on the Browns' decision to move on from Baker after a year in which he was injured and we really didn't know where he was, to go full in on Deshaun Watson and give him the richest contract in NFL history, and it's all guaranteed, something that was unheard of before that deal was done?
Right. Jay, I'm a little torn on it, to be honest. I obviously probably a little partial to Baker because I felt like I've walked exactly in his shoes. being the number one pick of that franchise. And, getting there, when I got there, we were the expansion team. When Baker got there, they hadn't won a game the year before. So I understand what he was walking into. And I was able to take the Browns to the playoffs the last time that they went before Baker took them a year ago. So I fully understand what he's going through, and playing through the injuries, I did that as well. Obviously was extremely hurt last year and tried to tough it out. And I think that backfired on him because his play suffered, and I think that they tried to, decided to go in another direction because of that. But, I was
Tim,
a Baker
hold on.
fan.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. You're being too nice. You're the general manager of the Browns. And the conversation in the room is, are we in with Baker or are we moving on?
We're out.
What are you saying?
I would be in with Baker for another year. I think that, I think give him a chance to get healthy would be my thing. Let's see what he can do fully healthy, because the last time we saw him fully healthy, the guy was an excellent football player. He took his team to the playoffs. He won a game on the road in Pittsburgh. I think he had the team heading in the right direction. And from where they were when he got there to where they were, up until last year, I think that he was doing a good job and had the team on the right track. So I would have personally stuck with Baker for another year to see, what he do when he's fully healthy.
But Tim, the reality is that in this NFL, even when you were playing, the quarterback became more important than in the 80s. But now, I don't think you can even win with an average quarterback. And to me, that's what Baker is. He's an average quarterback. I got stud quarterbacks all over the AFC, including this division where I got to deal with Lamar Jackson, I got to deal with Joe Burrow. There's been a lot of guys that have won playoff games. Maybe not in Cleveland. Tim Tebow won a playoff game for crying out loud. So if I don't need I need a great quarterback to win it all in this AFC. Deshaun Watson's great. Baker Mayfield is average, in my opinion. Tim, what say you?
Well, I think Deshaun's a heck of a player. There's no question. Last time we saw him on the field, the guy, he threw for almost 5,000 yards and over 30 touchdowns. So there's no question he's a good player. I think Baker is above average. I think he's a better than average player when he's healthy, especially with, the weapons they had around him, that running game, the offensive line. I think, Baker could really excel when healthy, but I think Deshaun can too. I think it's just, he fits the system well, with Stefanski's system where they want to get him on the move. Use his legs, a lot of play action, taking shots down the field. Deshaun can certainly do that and excel at that. You got to hope he's going to be able to get on the field. We don't know what's going to happen with the suspension, to start the season. So we'll see what happens.
Tim, there's an article that came out a little bit earlier about Baker Mayfield, and his team feels like they were kind of sabotaged a little bit. They felt like they didn't keep him upright, and the game plan wasn't really something that they should have been running, especially when you got a T.J. Watt, especially going against Pittsburgh. Going back to your time, were there ever some times where when you played, because you got hit a lot, you got beat up a lot, were there some times you looked up and said, man, I wish we could have did something a little better to keep me protected? Can you block? Can you see where Baker's coming from in that situation? Or on the other hand of the spectrum, it's like, hey, maybe it's just our team isn't that good yet.
I think there's always some things you can do schematically to help out. I think they were struggling at that point on the offensive line a little bit, especially going against a guy like T.J. Watt. And, you got to be able to make adjustments. I don't know if there was any sabotaging going on, trying to make Baker look bad or anything like that. I think it's just a bad game plan overall going into that game and not making adjustments. The tackles getting.
Tim, we're looking at the numbers from that game right now. It was, I remember the game vividly. He was 16 of 38, 185 yards, threw for 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was sacked 9 times. And Tim, I know you watch every play of every Browns game. You had to be like everybody in Cleveland. We're all standing up in our living rooms, screaming at the screen. Why are they doing this? What's going on? He had no help. He had a rookie tackle who was way over his skis against one of the best pure pass rushers in the game.
You really thought they tried to hurt him on purpose?
I'm not saying that I believe
they ain't
it.
trying to help him. I'm not.
Listen, I'm not
Joe Burrow
saying
got sacked 9 times, won a playoff game.
Yeah, but you make adjustments within the game. Tim, what were you saying? You understand slide protection, and you understand that a quarterback can call an audible and swing a tight end over to help. Why was none of that going on? And do you think this conspiracy theory that it was sabotage, do you think there's anything to it at all? Do you think it's way out in left field? What are your thoughts?
I have a hard time believing that they tried to sabotage him. I think it's just, like I said, I think it was just bad game playing, bad coaching in that game. I think there's always things you can do when you can't block a guy. You can keep a tight end in, you can chip him with a running back, you can throw a lot of screens. You can run draws. You can do whatever. Change up the snap count a lot. You can do whatever to kind of keep him from getting off the ball so fast and trying to get a little help on that side. But for whatever reason, they didn't make the necessary adjustments, and Baker paid the ultimate price for it.
Tim, if say that Deshaun Watson does get suspended for 4 or 6 games, whatever it is, do you think Baker should be the one that go back out there, even with all the stuff that he's caused in this offseason? You think that chemistry with those players in that locker room can be fixed for however long Deshaun Watson's out? Good question.
I think that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I think he's not there in the offseason workouts. I know the guys respect him. The guys like him in the locker room. He's been a leader for that team for the last few years. So I don't know how that would work. I don't know, from Baker's standpoint, if I were in that situation, I would take it as an opportunity to show other teams what I can do. If I get a chance to start in the first, whatever it is, 4 to 6 games of the year, if Deshaun was suspended, I think I'm going to go out there and try and ball out, and try and get someone to give me a contract and trade for me or come and get me. So, I think he knows obviously the writing's on the wall. He's out of Cleveland, but if you get an opportunity to step out on the field, at the end of the day, you're a professional and you got to put your best stuff on tape, and you don't want to go out there and say I don't want to be here and have that type of attitude, because I think that'll show the field. But I think he could make it work. You just got to go out and be a professional and try to block out the noise.
I think the problem though, Tim, is unlike you, who was a professional, even though you were getting crushed with an expansion team, Baker hasn't shown that maturity. He's shown some maturity on the field. But in terms of his leadership, in terms of his ability to communicate with the media, get the world out there, he's continued to show a lot of immaturity. And so he lets, I think, his ego get in the way, which we all do sometimes. But I think when you look at Baker and what he said this offseason, I don't think he will handle it the way you're saying. Yeah, I think it probably would be smart of him. I just don't buy that he will. Do you think he will ultimately?
Yeah, that's the ultimate question. I don't know if he will or not. I think he has said some things that make you question that. Whether he can put all that stuff behind him. He feels like he was treated badly by the organization. He feels like he was lied to. And I understand a little bit of that because I went through that towards the end of my career there in Cleveland. And I think you just got to try to block it out. I think if he gets an opportunity to get on the field, he's still under contract. He really doesn't have a choice.
If he
wants
called you and asked, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to go out there and play, man. I would say, listen, man, I know everything's, it's whatever's happened has happened. You're upset. The franchise, you feel like you were done wrong by them. But, at the end of the day, you're a professional quarterback, and it's your job to go out there and play well and win games. And if you get an opportunity to step on the field, you got to take advantage of it no matter the situation.
Tim, you talked about it 2020 when Baker Mayfield was really taking off a little bit. Even the detractors, I'm not the biggest Baker guy. But in those last 8 games, it was undeniable. He was off and rolling. He was one of the top 3 to 5 quarterbacks when it came to throwing the football and getting his team into the playoffs. Kevin Stefanski was also the coach of the year during that time period. When we look at Kevin Stefanski, are you still as high on Kevin Stefanski as you were in 2020? Because if we talk about Baker, Baker's gone, Odell Beckham Jr. is gone. A lot of those things that were kind of thrown around like, hey, these are the reasons you guys are struggling, those excuses are gone. It's just now Kevin Stefanski. And I think this year it's a lot of pressure on him. Do you think that Kevin Stefanski has the most pressure with Deshaun Watson coming into the season?
Absolutely, I do. I think that's a great point, because the first year we saw him, as you said, he was coach of the year. He did a great job. Everyone was high on him. So this is our guy. And then last year he took a step back. I think, maybe some of that had to do because his quarterback was so hurt. That is, he was kind of limited in what he was, calling and what he could call because of Baker's limitations physically. But I think this year is a huge year for him. He's got his quarterback that he went out and handpicked. Baker wasn't his guy. Baker was, a guy that was already here when he got here. So he was able to go out and get Deshaun Watson and say, this is my guy. This is who I'm going to build my system around, build my team around. So a lot of pressure is on him. There's no question about it. They paid $230 million to go get this guy, and it obviously better work at the end of the day.
Are we concerned that Kevin Stefanski is ultimately too pretty to be a good head coach?
I'm worried about it. I'm
May be an
worried about
issue.
it.
He's a little too pretty, Tim.
Sponsored by Hollis.
He might be a little bit.
Hey, Tim.
Bill Belichick's ugly. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And as an ugly man, I could say that.
He is.
He's ugly.
Yeah,
The greats are all ugly.
Vince Lombardi wasn't strong
Hideous.
in the look game either.
He's hideous.
He was one of the greats of
He
all
had fake
time.
teeth. Did you know
Andy
that?
Reid.
Did he?
No, I'm just making
I was
that.
about to say.
Hey, Tim, your
Andy
background.
Reid's a walrus. for crying out loud.
Tim, your background game is flexing, man. That's like of
pretty
all
sweet.
of all the Zoom interviews I've seen and done. That like talk us through that wall. That's
like that.
that's incredible, bro.
Yeah, I got some stuff. I got the let's see what's back there. I got an SEC Player of the Year award.
Nice.
First Team All-American award.
Flex on
National
Tim.
Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I've got an Emmy award. You see the Emmy award right here. For
I do see that.
Oh,
I do see that.
Multi-talented.
Step your game up, fellas. Tim
I did
flexes.
the SEC package for Fox for about 6 years and ended up winning an Emmy award for that. So that was one that I didn't. That's for sure.
Man, the guy is so well-rounded.
Yeah.
He's doing great, by the way. Now he's telling people how to make money because he's done so much of it. Now he tells people how to make money.
like
And a
that.
lot of people in the Lexington, really not just Lexington, Kentucky, and all across the country are using Tim. Hey, do you have any tips for me, bro? The market is, my 401k is a 201k. I'll call you after the show. I'll call you after the show.
Call me after the show. We'll talk about it.
All right, Tim, we're going to keep you on because we're going to go mailbag. We're going to do that
do
real
it.
quick before we take our top of the hour here. We've got a comment here from Mr. Wings 20.
Love
He
that
wants
guy.
to know which animal would make the best football player. We'll let Tim start, then we'll go around this. Who do you have, Tim? I think this is easy.
Best animal. I'm going to go with the cheetah. You know, I think the cheetah would be the best animal. You get in the ball out in space, you're not catching the cheetah.
Yeah, he's Eric Metcalf, basically, with a lot of with
Basically,
prettier skin. Who do you have, Adam?
A bull. Are you kidding me? Of course. He's running, smashing people up.
Yeah, fullback. Tyvis, who do you got?
Baker.
I'd probably pick a gorilla. Defense, a gorilla.
Ooh, yeah,
Put him on
that'd be-
DN
no,
or
that'd be
linebacker.
strong.
Woo!
He can tackle.
Who do you got, G. Bush?
Hey, man, shout out to Hannibal and the war elephants. You got to build up front. Give me the elephants up
true.
front.
Yeah.
Smart,
The gorilla Achilles.
it's smart, intelligent, and can move people.
Here's what I
like
love
it.
about this. We did not talk about this before the show. We've got 5 different answers. Mine's so easy. I don't know how you guys didn't think of it. It's a giraffe. Are you kidding me? All the quarterback has to do is just toss the ball up, and
That's
who's
a-
going to
catch it with
defend
his
him?
mouth?
Yes,
Wait
he's
a
going to
minute.
catch it with his mouth.
The gorilla gonna get there before all that.
No,
David.
giraffes are sick
Red
fast.
zone threat.
But they're
really
Big
fast.
red zone threat. Megatron ain't
They're
got
fast,
nothing on
bro.
that.
Can't take a
fast.
herbivore.
I'm giving me the
Did I-
draft every
did I
time.
say
All right,
herbivore?
Cavallette
I said
23.
Yeah.
I love this one. Will LeBron and Brony play together in Cleveland? Tim, what do you got?
I don't know. It would be a lot would have to happen for that to take place. I think it would be awesome. I would love to see it, but Bronny's got to first get drafted by the Cavs, and then LeBron would have to decide to come back. But I'd love to see it. I just don't think it's going to be in the cards.
Tim's a no.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
LeBron's got to come back again. Of course he is.
Yeah, he's
the
coming
Lakers
back.
are a disaster. He
He's
doesn't
coming
want to be
back.
there.
Yeah.
He wants to come play
But
with all
will
these young
Bronny
guys.
be good enough to play in the NBA?
I mean, who knows? It's
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on him. I feel bad. I mean, feel bad. He's got the kids.
Yeah, don't
separate
feel bad.
life.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's a young player still in high school. We don't know how good he is. But you know what? If LeBron says, "Yeah, I'm going to come back to Cleveland. You got to draft my son," the Cavs are going to do it.
We're drafting him no matter how good or bad he is.
I'm a yes on it for
Tyvis
that
is a
reason, too.
yes?
I think they definitely.
G. Bush, does that happen?
No, of course. Shout out to Baller's Life. I watch Bronny's game. Bryson will be better than him. But
I agree with
Yeah,
that
well,
too.
yeah, but he won't be. But LeBron won't be able to
He's
stick
too-
around
yeah,
that
right.
long.
No.
But
Well, maybe.
definitely they're coming back.
never
Getting
say
ready.
never with
Dan
him.
Gilbert will welcome him back.
So
in the
we're a
game.
clean sweep on the panel because I
Yeah.
say it's a yes too.
Okay.
I think no matter how good or bad Bronny is,
Yeah.
LeBron says, "I'm coming home. You need to draft my son so we can play some games together."
They'll do it.
They can at least do that.
It will
That's the
happen.
least
All
they
right,
can
finally, let's wrap it up with this. Rusty Bucket 642.
Yeah, Rusty Bucket.
You know who this is, Bull? Rusty Bucket.
Rusty Bucket.
All right, he says, if you could only do one workout for the rest of your life, this question's perfect for Couch. What would it be? Tim, how do we keep our six-pack abs?
Man, that's tough. As bad as I hate to say it, it would probably be a leg workout just because you burn the most calories doing lower body. So if I could only do one, it would be deadlift, squats, stuff like that.
That's
because
what
you're going to burn the most calories.
And most guys hate legs more than
Shout out to
anything.
you, Tim. I squatted today.
There
this
you go.
morning.
There you go. Well, what's your
I
workout?
actually did work out this morning.
Okay,
I
what's your
really did
workout?
with my trainer.
I believe it.
I was doing a bunch of things, but the reality is he may have a six-pack. I've got a beer bowl.
You got a keg.
I
You got
got
a
a beer
keg.
bowl,
Yeah.
and the best workout is going to the fridge,
It's a 12-ounce curls.
Chicken wing,
Curls.
pizza.
So
there you go.
curls.
Yeah.
Well,
What's it called when you do the curls like this?
The
What are those
12-ounce
called
curls.
again?
12-ounce
No,
curls.
when you go, when your arm goes like this instead of like this.
It's just
What's
a
this
standard
called?
dumbbell curl.
Hammer curl.
That's the hammer
Okay,
curl.
how do you guys?
Here's the
You
thing,
guys
though.
are good athletes.
Bull,
How do you not know that?
The question
Go ahead.
was for the rest of your life. If that's your workout,
I'm
you're
gonna
like
die.
the NFL,
All right,
not
hammer
for long.
curl. Hammer curl.
All right, what do you got?
There you go.
I'm doing some type of abs because when it gets hot outside, I have to be able to take my shirt off. And, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Those are the
Remember
money
that
muscles.
shirt shoes
Those are the
argument?
money
You
muscles.
gotta do this.
How do you listen? I'm getting my cardiovascular up with my wife. I don't know what y'all doing. That's what I'm doing.
Tim, he went there.
Cardiovascular game. I got to get the heart working.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, no, hey, Tim, he went there.
Yeah, he did.
Out
I
of
like
control.
it. Hey, that's part of it, man.
All right, I'm
Gotta
doing
be
chest
well-rounded. Keep the
and
cardio
arms
up.
all day long. Those are the money muscles. Yeah, I mean, if those are in shape, people can be fooled if your legs aren't exactly what they should be, but your arms and chest are ripped and solid. They'll be like, wow, you work out. But I've never seen anybody that just does legs.
Tim, have you seen
that
better
walks
calves
around.
than this? Have you seen better calves than this?
Oh,
Tim?
don't do it.
Come on, look at that. Look at those.
Damn, it's impressive, actually.
Don't gas him up, Tim. Do not gas him up.
Tim, trust me, it looked a whole lot better on stream than it did in
Never
studio.
grab your knees like that again.
Come on now.
He done grabbed his knees
Tim,
and bent over
we
in front of
got
the
a
world.
jet, but I want to end it this way. And I'm going to tell you guys this. Tim's got so many great stories, but I think one of the best things two things that he told me that stand out. During your entire time with the Browns, how many Pro Bowl teammates did you have?
Just one, Jameer Miller, a
Can you
defensive
believe that,
player. That
guys?
was the only Pro Bowler I ever played with. None on offense.
And none on offense.
Right.
That's astounding. I think the only thing that was wrong with Tim's career was when it happened
Bad timing,
and where
yeah.
it happened. I hated it for that. And also, tell the guys the stat when ESPN ranked the greatest high school athletes of all time. You came in at
Number 6.
No
Number
kidding.
guys,
6.
Guys, I'm not
Yeah.
kidding you.
I got to pull some tape.
Damn.
He can ball out on the court. And
Yeah,
obviously,
I was
I
averaging
think,
almost 40 points a game in high school. I averaged 38 points a game my junior year.
Why did you play
And,
football instead?
well, it worked out okay
I
cash-wise.
think it just kind of. I went to Kentucky to play both sports. I went to play football and basketball there, and then when I got there, man, it's so hard to try and stay eligible first of all while you play both sports, and then kind of football just kind of. I went over and practiced with the basketball team actually, and they had Antoine Walker, Ron Mercer,
That was
Derek
Patino's
Anderson.
team, right?
Yeah, it was Patino's team in '96, and I was like, man, there was like 10 guys went to the league off that team, and I was like, I better probably go up here and play some football because if half and half, I'm not going to be able to walk on the court and play with these dudes if they were up here
guys,
full time.
he shared the basketball court with those players, and then he came to Cleveland and looked around the locker room and said, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. Tim, what I love most about you is you never
Thanks,
used
Tim.
that as an excuse. You always honored your teammates.
Unlike
you
Baker,
never
he didn't
rolled
make
on them.
excuses.
I wish we could take your maturity and put it in Baker's body. We'd have an all-pro quarterback every year. Tim, we love you. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to be calling on you on a regular
Peace,
basis.
man.
Welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We will see you soon, my friend. Take care.
Appreciate it, guys. Enjoyed it. See you
There
next
he
week.
is, Tim Couch, all-pro person, all-pro talent. He was just an amazing guy, and I'm glad to call him my friend. We're taking a break. When we come back, Brony Kosar, I'm told, is in the building. So from one great to another, Bernie's going to join the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We're going to talk about Deshaun Watson, what the commissioner will do, what the commissioner should do. If we get time, we're going to talk about a ridiculous trade involving the Cavs and the Spurs by Bleacher Report. And for the record, Bull thinks it's great. I think it's trash. We're coming right back. Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Stay with us.
News you can trust should be news you can rely on.
And every night at 11 on What's Next, you can rely on us.
A new legal twist for Brown.
Today also marks the beginning of
We're here, and we are going to continue.
So the Guardians have to play almost. You can rely on us to help you go to bed better informed with stories that prepare you for tomorrow.
And with news that's relevant to your life. We'll make sure that you're ready for what's next.
Because being ready for tomorrow is what matters most.
We face challenges every day, some bigger than others, and we never know what's around the corner.
Through the highs and the lows, whatever we face it together. Each morning on Go, we are here with the facts. Because Because what impacts you impacts all of us.
And understanding those facts helps us to make informed decisions for our families, our communities, and our future.
We are here for you every step of the way. Go, weekday mornings, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Recognize that feeling? It is the feeling of being together, enjoying the company of a familiar face, and sharing moments that matter to you, to me, to us. What matters to some could impact all of us, especially in a place like Northeast Ohio. Here, stories are shared from east to west to south. Stories of perseverance, of family, of love. If a story brings us together, it's what matters most.
When you watch Front Row, you never have to ask what's going on in Cleveland.
It is our job to get you up to speed on the latest news and events so you can enjoy all our city has to offer. We are bright, bold, and all about the action.
Whether you're a diehard Browns fan, waiting on breaking news, or searching for a special event for a weekend away.
Our hometown has it all. So join us. We're waiting for you. Front Row, weeknights at 7.
Recognize that feeling? It is the feeling of being together, enjoying the company of a familiar face, and sharing moments that matter to you.
We're hearing different audio.
No.
Are we back, guys? All right, we're back.
We're back.
Hey, so can we punch up producer Mike's camera? Can we take producer Mike? So Tim Couch was great, guys. I thought Tim Couch was great. We got a lot of insight.
Super fast.
Producer Mike, Bernie's here, right?
Bernie's in the building.
Okay.
There's the chair. We got the empty chair.
So
ready
one of
for him.
our production assistants, Anthony, just went up to get him. Correct. So during this segment, you're going to see Bernie Kosar walk in. He's going to take that seat right there. Am I right, Mike? It's going to happen.
That is
now?
correct. Bernie's going to walk into the studio.
Yeah.
Onto the set. We're going to mic him up live.
He's actually going to walk on air when he comes into the studio. Bernie doesn't touch the ground.
No, he's going to walk
he
in,
floats
mic
in.
himself up.
Guys in here.
Yeah, he's so revered in Cleveland for his years with the Browns. They speak for themselves. We all know what he was able to do here.
Best Browns quarterback of my life.
Of my lifetime too. I used to, my father was an old timer, and he would say, "Hey, pump the brakes on the of all time in Browns history." I always say, those quarterbacks in the 40s, 50s,
Who cares
60s.
about those guys?
It's so hard to try to train. Well, I give them their due. I care about them, and I give them their respect. But I'm sorry, I just can't. If you took Otto Graham today and you put him in an NFL team, he probably doesn't make a roster.
No.
And I'm being kind when I say that.
Yeah.
But he was great amongst the players he was playing at the time. He was all-time great.
Yeah. How
How he would transfer to today's game, I don't know. That remains. Here's a question just off the top of my head. I just thought of this. If you could have Bob Feller play for the Indians today or Otto Graham play for the Browns today, who you going with?
Bob
yeah.
Feller.
Feller. Because the fastball, that goes across all areas of baseball.
Yeah. But Bernie can give us some really good insight because he's been hanging with Deshaun Watson.
Yes,
He was. I think that was at the Rams game, the semi-pro game. I
So,
saw that on
bro,
Twitter,
Bernie's
too.
like underwriting the Rams season.
Wow.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, and he'll tell us when he gets here, I think Deshaun Watson is helping him. Like, this Rams is a semi-pro team in the area, and they just suddenly lost their field. The field that they had that they had an agreement with to use for their season. Suddenly they were told, sorry, that deal's off. So Bernie's in the building. Bernie's in the building. Come on in, handsome.
Come on in.
Come on in and have a seat. We're on the air. That's okay. Look at skinny Bernie. Come on, bro. Right here.
Right here. We got the good seat.
Skinny Bernie. He's got the hair growing in the back.
Bernie,
Look at him.
The mic is right there.
Yeah, throw it on your jacket.
There you go.
Hey,
Bernie
Bernie.
Kosar.
Bernie, welcome to Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Bernie's going to be a regular with us, too.
How you doing?
Bernie. Tyvis Powell, Garrett Bush, Adam the Bull, and, of course, you and I go way back. So we're talking about the Cleveland Rams.
Yes.
And
Look.
For a lot of folks, they might not really know what's going on with that. Give us the quick 60-second version of what they are and how you're involved.
I'm not sure I could say hello in less than 60 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But it's amazing. About 10 days ago, I'm watching the news in the morning, and I see a shot about a football team they're losing their field, not going to have a place to practice.
Semi-pro, right?
Semi-pro team, not going to have a chance to play their games. It was supposed to be on May 7th. And as they're getting this bad news about not being able to have their season, they look up and they see that their neighbor across the street, the house is on fire, and Henry Clay is in there yelling, "Fire, fire," and unfortunately the smoke inhalation knocks him out, And these guys, football players for the Cleveland Rams, in a tough time where they're losing their football season, not having a place to play, having an opportunity to really feel bad for themselves. Instead of feeling bad for themselves, they take it upon themselves to climb the fence, cross the street, go into the burning house, not only get Mr. Clay out of there, but Lefty, one of the first guys on the scene, was actually trained in some paramedic skills, so to be able to get him out,
They saved
get
his
out
life,
there,
really.
save his life, you know. So now, in a tough situation, here they turn a negative into a positive, which is something I've always kind of tried to do in my life. So to make sure that their season happened, you know, we started raising money for them to have their game this past Saturday, and I brought with me today Randy Knight, who is
What's up, Randy?
Randy.
How are you, brother?
One of the players, coaches, and owners
That's a
for the
great story,
Cleveland
though.
Rams.
So their season's going to continue.
So I'm gonna make sure that their season continues.
Wow.
We're awesome. Deshaun Watson came out the other day. He's helping making sure
That's
that it
phenomenal.
happens. And our friends.
Lifesavers, and now their season will continue. That's a great story. Thank you
Exactly.
for telling
Exactly.
us.
So hey, so wait. Let me just
go
say
ahead,
real
finish
quick.
up.
So. It's just we just got the first game started this week. There's
How'd
a
they do?
lot.
Did they play?
I wouldn't have showed up so happily if we didn't win 27-6.
Nice!
Okay.
Let's go!
Attaboy!
The
Hey,
first,
smiles over
yeah,
there.
the first number 55, Coach Knight, owner
I
Knight,
love it,
player Knight was instrumental
How
in
can
that
they
game.
watch the games? Is there a website that they can go to? Is there something that they can do to follow?
We stream live on Facebook on the Cleveland Rams.
Okay. So if you go to Facebook and search Cleveland Rams, I'm sure you'll see the schedule, how you can watch the games. They stream live. That's awesome.
Hey, and then
That's
one of the things too, though, we're still raising money for the team, for the season, for Mr. Clay and stuff. So it's been awesome at 428 Foundation, which is 428 Athletics here in Richmond Heights.
So
and
if people
stuff.
want to help, they can
Yeah,
make a
so
difference then.
please make a difference
Yes.
there. 216-644-1110.
That's awesome. Thank you.
216-644-1110.
Thank you so much.
Bernie, how did Deshaun Watson get involved? How did he end up getting involved, and what was your time with him like?
Well, to get a chance to start talking with him, and then with them having the off-season program starting like this, and him wanting to be really active in the community, he also saw this on the news, and it was kind of cool.
Wow.
Cool that something that kind of grassroots organically got started here in town that was, really kind of a cool lesson, I think, for all of us. When we all have our issues going on, we all have our things in our own personal lives, and God, if this virus hasn't maybe taught me, and I think us over the last couple of years, whether it's the virus, what happened January 6th, it's really showing in society, I think, the extremists out there. And some of the polarizing views that are there. And again, whether you're a male or female, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, whether you're black or white, God, athletes now in athletics, if this isn't a time now, almost a responsibility of us now, to really come together,
Yeah, we're all on
and
the
really
same
get
team.
into the communities and get into situations where, it's just not about ourselves. It's about genuine acts of giving back. And I use the phrase "you matter" because we care about you. It's just not a University of Miami thing. Really giving back and showing people now that they do matter, that we care about them. It's almost, as I get into the late third quarter, early fourth
You're at
quarter,
halftime, Bernie.
early fourth quarter of my
You're
life.
at halftime, brother. You're my age.
What do you got in your coffee then?
Hey, Bern, the media hasn't really had a chance to sit down and get to know Deshaun Watson. I've talked to a lot of my friends that are in the media, both nationally and in Houston. They all say the same thing. They sing the same song about this guy. Just wait until you meet him. Judge him by what you see. He's a community guy. He's a caring guy. We know about the charges and that black cloud over his head. And I think fans are kind of torn. We're like, do we like this move? Do we not like this move? You've spent some time with him. You're a great judge of character. I think you do a tremendous job early on figuring out this guy's a good guy. This guy might be a little shady. What do you make of Deshaun Watson, the person, and do you co-sign the move to bring him here?
Well, that's that's something that's really fair to ask, and it's and I pride myself on really making sure I get a chance to know people And I really like the ability to look eye to eye as opposed to just what you read, what you hear, what you maybe see around. And I'm just getting a chance to meet Deshaun right now, and I really like the way that he's embracing what's happening now.
Do you co-sign the move to bring him here? Because that was very controversial, and the move to bring him here also pushed Baker out of town.
Well,
Are you okay with all those moving parts?
There's a lot of questions within that, and from the Baker perspective right now, I think for our fans and for everybody out there, it's really imperative that people really look at some of the positive aspects of it. Going to the playoffs, beating the Steelers.
Talk to Bull on this. Don't look at me. You've got me on that.
But ultimately now, Bernie, in this era of quarterbacks, I think you got to have a great quarterback to win. And and Deshaun Watson's just a much better talent than Baker Mayfield.
Well,
ultimately.
Deshaun and what's going on right now, my part of it is to see what's happening now and do the best I can with going forward with it. And Deshaun's football skills, there's no question that he has football skills that I wish I had.
Bernie, I think the question is, did Baker have enough of a skill set to get this town and this franchise where we all want to go, and that's to win a Super Bowl? Do you believe had he been left alone, re-signed, 18 months ago, this question would have been laughable. Wait, you're talking about doing what? This guy has changed your life. He beat the Steelers in a must-win game. He beat them in the playoffs. Now we're turned the page and he's gone. The question isn't, I don't think, is Deshaun better, because I think everybody here would agree without much thought, yeah, of course Deshaun's better. The real question here, and this is the one the Browns were answering over in Berea, did he have the skill set to get them where we want to go? Do you think he did?
Well, I like how Baker was playing. Baker's a winning quarterback right now. And for what we've done from this century, since the team's come back in 1999, we've gone extremely farther than any other quarterback has taken.
That sounds like a yes to me, that you thought that they could have stayed the course with Baker and ultimately made a Super Bowl.
We were on the brink of a Super Bowl.
That's what I told Bull. I said, look, save a bad call and a crazy fourth quarter.
And Patrick Mahomes getting hurt.
Yeah, but that's part of it. That happened. You can't count on that happening.
Let me ask you this, Bernie. One of the things that I always admire about your game is the mental aspect to the game. When you get to the line of scrimmage and you look over and you see a safety and you see the secondary, you were one of the guys that back in the 80s I call a one-stop shop. You called the play. You can change it. You can audible it. You can make site adjustments. You knew everything from a cerebral aspect. Do you believe?
Part of that was because I ran a 5.5 40.
You better bring something to the party.
Maximize your positives and minimize your negatives. Okay.
But Bernie, his point is you could do that.
Yeah. Do you think that they gave Baker an opportunity to do that and give him the reins? A lot of people, and I'm not the biggest Baker guy, but a lot of the people who support Baker say, look, man, they didn't give him the opportunity to do some of those things to make himself more successful as far as operating the offense and doing what he could do and being free to make those calls as you did.
Well, thank you for some of the compliments within that. And it's tough when you have multiple systems and multiple years as a young quarterback. I had a few systems within my first few years of playing. I really love how I was versed growing up in the football world with Coach Snellenberger, who was a disciple of Don Shula. And you get that type of foundational training at Boardman High School and then at University of Miami with really a pro-style attack. So when I got to Cleveland, I was very well versed in how to do those things. And then I said it as a joke, but really you do need to minimize your weaknesses and maximize the stuff you're good at. But the mental aspect of it back when I was playing was almost an essential part of it. Now I'm not sure how many young quarterbacks are overly versed in it.
The league doesn't really give quarterbacks
they don't
that
give
away anymore.
Well, in the high school and colleges don't overly prepare you for that.
Even in college, how many quarterbacks do you see looking back at the head coach after the line is set?
I would lose my mind having all guys not looking at me, staring at the sideline. That would not happen. Okay,
holding up a poster of The Simpsons.
Speaking of posters, though, there's a famous poster of you and Boomer back to back, right? That photo. Did you guys get into a fight before that? Did you wrestle?
That was the Battle of Ohio,
Yeah.
and I just love, Bull, that you brought that one up. That Boom spent the whole day on his tiptoes trying to show that he was the same size.
Was he working on his pretty hair?
Yeah, well, he has that going, okay? I wasn't going to duel him in that, but he had
Yeah.
a size issue that day.
Oh, he wasn't feeling that.
Yeah.
Bernie, did you like the way that they handled this? Would you have ran it back with Baker this season and tried to get him some weapons around, or do you think that Deshaun Watson was ultimately the right thing to do at this time?
You know what? It's too much to really go into that part of it. The part I'm in, because I wasn't part of all of that, is where we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
And where we're at now, it's.
That sounds like a no to me, Bernie.
I wasn't.
Bernie loves to be the nice guy. Sometimes, says the politically correct thing. But
well, no.
Am I wrong in thinking that if this was your decision to make, you would have stayed the course with Baker?
I really didn't spend a ton of time really thinking about it.
Right.
I really do think about what we're doing now. So, and when Bake was the guy, that's my effort and all my attention is to making that work. Just like when I was playing, was I always the best guy? In my mind, I thought I was, but in reality, really, was I? Probably not, but you're always trying to just make the best of whatever that current situation is. I know it looks like I'm hedging on that and then other questions, but really, I try to do what I'm doing now and do it good.
Make what you have here work.
Yeah, because it's hard enough to do good
Yeah.
today and going forward with it. And that being
That's
said,
fair.
There's so many questions being asked of me, even about Deshaun and what's going on, that I'm really trying to figure out that part of it. And, from the off the field side of it, because the on the field side, there's nobody questioning, I believe, with Deshaun's awesomeness with it. And now, over the last couple weeks, spending some time face to face with Deshaun and stuff for someone who I didn't get a chance to sit down with in the previous 5 years. Although in 2017, I absolutely loved him coming out of college and stuff. But when you do sit down with him, he has a real genuineness to him, and I've really enjoyed. I've enjoyed my couple times with him right now. And again, for him, with all he's got going on, to really have a genuine care about getting out there for the Cleveland Rams on this past Saturday, and then not just wanting to do it for he didn't even know. I didn't even know if he knew the cameras are going to be there, but to not even just do it as a one-time thing, to be following up with me, to kind of want to be. Ingrained with Coach Knight.
But I actually co-signed what you're saying because I actually spent a week with him. I played for the Houston Texans for a week in 2019, and he was a genuine guy, man. We had conversations and everything. He was a first-round pick, and I was just an undrafted free agent guy that came in, and he treated me like a human.
Tyvus Berry in the lead.
Look at that. Really?
That's great to know.
I bounced around a lot.
But that's great to know. That's good insight. I know. I'm just now learning this for the first time.
Yeah, I was in Houston for a week. But
he
was a great guy. Great guy.
I think that's when you really see the true colors of a player is when the door's shut, the media's not around.
Right.
And it's just the 53.
Oh, yeah.
How does
in
it
the
go?
locker room, we are who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We can mask it here a little bit.
But when you get in that locker room,
no, it's real.
It's real.
And guys can smell authentic a mile away. And that might be some part of the problem with Baker is he lost the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And
especially the defense. A lot of the guys on defense soured on him.
Bernie, to that point, so the Browns are doing the math on what's going to happen. And we don't know yet. After this question, we're going to talk about the commissioner and what he's going to do and what you would do if you're the commissioner. But for this particular topic, has the ship completely sailed on Baker ever playing with this team again? Because I say that, if the league comes out and gives him a year, worst case scenario, if he's done for the season, you're now looking at Jacoby or Baker. And the Browns have to do the calculation, which player gives us the best chance to win with the team chemistry boiled into it. Is there a chance that Baker will ever take another snap again, or have they permanently changed the Wi-Fi password at First Energy and he'll never have it again?
Well, that's a really fair question, and in my past, those are the type of questions and type of things when I wasn't on air that I absolutely paid attention to and actually knew the answers to. And this is not really trying to get away with it here, and I could probably BS my way, through an answer, but really,
it's all a guess. I'm guessing that there's a chance.
No, but seriously, as I get into the late third quarter, early fourth quarter of my life,
halftime.
Well, again, football's been an amazing thing for me, but now I've been really so focused on really a lot of these community events.
Sure.
Some of the
So you don't spend as much time.
I don't really spend as much time
All right.
on that aspect.
Man, I wanted an answer on that one,
We got it.
Brony.
We'll answer for you. Yeah, you in the late third quarter. We got it. We'll take it from here.
No, but I mean, seriously, to be able now to, I know our fans want to know that answer.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me and where I'm at, trying to really genuinely help people make a difference.
Would it shock you if Baker took a snap again for the Browns? Would it just blow you away?
You know what? As we're getting older, no, it wouldn't. Nothing would shock me.
Real quick, Bernie, let me just
go to your question, and then
one more thing on the field with Deshaun Watson. You talked about your 40 time not very good.
Yeah.
We know Deshaun Watson, in addition to being a great thrower of the football, is also a fantastic athlete. And that's an element that the Browns didn't have with Baker Mayfield. He was, for an NFL quarterback, not a particularly good athlete. Deshaun brings that.
You're going to have a hard time having me jump on anybody for being non-athletic.
Yeah, I hear you.
Or poor mechanically.
But Deshaun Watson is a superb athlete, especially for a quarterback. And with the Browns having already a great running game with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, arguably the best 1-2 punch in all of the league, how much more dangerous is the running game? Because in addition to Deshaun's great arm, he has that running ability too.
Okay, Bull, I'm going to look like I'm a complete Eddie Haskell suck-up to you here. 100%.
Yeah.
100%, though, you're on point here. This offense and the way we move the pocket, look at how successful we were within this offense with Bake running it and over the last 2 years with it. With Deshaun, it takes it to another level of play in terms of the running game with it.
Yeah.
I was chuckling again at our Cleveland Rams game this weekend. Old Youngstown State quarterback Ray Clement was the QB, and he hadn't played in 3 years. And he goes, "Well, what do you recommend?" I go, "The game's changed since I played. You got to use your legs as the QB now, and those those off-belly plays, the reads now with Deshaun's ability to move. There's no question.
You got to have a spy on him at all times because just like Lamar Jackson and others in the league, if he decides that he's just going to tuck it and run, that's an option that defenses were never worried about Baker doing that. They've got to change their game plan now, and somebody has to babysit him. And that could open avenues for the receivers, for the run game, and everything else. We're going to role play now. We're going to play Roger Goodell. And we'll go around the horn. We'll start with Bull. That way, Bernie can think about his answer while Bull is giving his. So 2 questions. The first one is, they call you Bull and they say from Park Avenue, New York, Roger's feeling ill. We need someone to step in as the commissioner today.
Yes.
And you've got to rule on Deshaun Watson based on what you know right now. What suspension are you handing down? Are you handing down any suspension?
It's an 8-game suspension for Deshaun Watson because I'm in charge of the Shield, okay? And that's all that matters. The owners, the commissioner, I believe they don't really care what the true story is. They only care about money,
public
and
perception,
protecting, and the public perception. And the public perception is bad. Whether Deshaun Watson did what he's accused of or not, I think shouldn't be irrelevant, but it is irrelevant when they come down with a suspension.
Okay.
The league looks bad. It's going to be 8 games.
Tyvis, you're the commissioner. What do you got?
I got 4 games. I got 4 games because, like he's saying, you have to acknowledge that something went down, that something happened. You have to show women that you appreciate them. You know.
The swag in your photo is off the charts right now.
I appreciate that.
Okay, that's a swag pick. That's a swag pick.
You know, it was a win. Anyways,
4 games. Right, 4 games. I think by the way, that would probably be the most popular answer.
Yeah, 4 games.
It's 4 games.
Because it's not detrimental to the team, but it's also it's going to hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, this whole thing, it's been a cloud for over a year. It's been a bad look on the league. Bernie, you're the commissioner, and you've got to issue a ruling today. How many games are you giving them?
Well, again, I'm not trying to hedge, but anybody to my right, I hope you're absolutely correct. You know, anything that.
So you're hoping it's just 4 games?
4 to 8, anything in the first half of the year, so that by the second half of the year, when we're making a playoff run and you're trying to get acclimated to the conditions, and for the playoff run, that this is completely behind you. But I'm actually very concerned with.
You think it could be much longer?
The Trevor Bauer situation, and then
Trevor got 2 years, and it's basically the same guy, except for there were 3 accusers to 22 for Deshaun.
And then there's some hidden things within the NFL fraternity of ownership and God bless, I'm a player at heart, even though I'm an old man right now. But I'm a player at heart, and I love that the players could get the money they got. But for Deshaun to get that type of awesome contract from a player perspective, there'll be owners, and you've already heard some like Mr. Bashadi
Well,
in
he was
Baltimore
very
that said
outspoken.
it. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's going to be the ownership group that's going to want to be very helpful towards Deshaun.
Yeah, I
coming
agree,
back.
especially because I think the Browns did themselves a disservice by the way they structured that contract, where Deshaun's only to be paid $1 million this year.
Right.
Guys, that's why my fear
It's all signing
is.
bonus, yeah.
Well, yeah, but my fear is that the commissioner, when he heard that, wasn't very happy about it, and that's
Yeah.
why I wouldn't be surprised if a suspension went not just a year, but into a second year, because that's how you really hurt him with the money. Right now, if he's suspended the year, he loses $1 million. That drives the commissioner bonkers.
Garrett's angry. He
Garrett,
disagrees.
you think that's way off base?
Hey, listen.
What's your suspension?
I let everybody talk. I let y'all get y'all's money off, but you already know how I give it up. What are y'all talking about? You talk about deflecting you did something against the Shield. That's the last part. He gets 0 games right now, and this is the easy one, right? One grand jury said up nothing. Another grand jury said up nothing. All you got to do, if I'm sitting in a position of the commissioner, I'm looking at it like this: until those civil suits go to case, and until there are judgments in those civil suits, he gets no games. I don't care if I have to come back.
That means he plays under that cloud all year. Then.
Hey, we ain't worried about the cloud. The cloud. No one said that you get the option to just live under. The cloud is what it is.
What if he settles those? Does that change in your opinion?
If he settles, then you can go and say, okay, well, now let's look at it. But as far as 2022, if there are no civil cases, there is no grounds except for speculation.
What about Trevor Bauer, who also didn't face charges?
That's a whole nother situation
Why?
in a whole nother league. Unless you telling me that peer pressure is involved here.
I don't know if this
no,
matters,
no,
guys,
it's
but one
not
second.
peer pressure.
I don't know if it matters, Jay and G, but Trevor Bauer, terrible reputation around the league before this.
I think
Players
it does matter.
don't like him.
No, I get that. And
Totally opposite
I think
with
it does
Deshaun
matter.
Watson.
But at the end of the day, like
I don't know if it matters.
I don't know.
But
By you saying peer pressure, here's what Major League Baseball did when they hit Trevor Bauer with 2 years. They immediately looked over at Roger and said, "What do you got?"
Listen,
what do you got?
I don't think football cares about baseball.
Who's got the? They do, because they're trying to be. They lost their popularity. Baseball did to the NFL.
The moral ground, high ground for baseball has been gone. You had steroids in the game for years. Stop.
Yeah, but
it.
we're talking about sexual assault against women.
Listen,
That's not using steroids, G.
Well, I'm just saying. Listen, when you talk about wrongs and rights, right? Major League Baseball is trying to grab the moral high ground, right? Are they not? Major League, when you talk about the NFL don't have much to stand on either. Due to the fact that the Colin Kaepernick thing, they bungled that. Then you had the situation with Robert Kraft. Yeah. I ain't gonna say what he did, but
it's
he was
sports.
doing
I don't need the moral high ground. I don't care about the moral high ground.
So why am I talking about protecting the Shield then?
Because that's what they care about.
If you don't need the moral high ground, why are you protecting the Shield?
Gee, Adam's saying it doesn't matter to him, but in the real picture, it matters. Yeah. It's all that matters because it's all about protecting the Shield.
Right, that something like happened.
Well, here's my.
I think if they do nothing, like I think the women in this world would.
And see,
feel
that's
some type
why Roger Goodell
knows
is stuck.
They support the NFL.
He's damned if he does, because if he suspends him and suspends him hard, you're going to have all of the defenders of Watson saying
players are going to be taken.
You just suspended him and he wasn't charged with a crime.
Yeah.
If he doesn't give him a suspension, you've got all of and not just women's rights groups. There are a lot of men that are pissed off about what happened, and they should be. Now, here's the thing. Nobody knows what really happened. Nobody knows except for Deshaun and the 22 women.
That's it.
But if the public perception, and I will tell you this, in the court of public opinion, guys, he's guilty.
Okay.
In the court of public opinion.
It depends who you ask.
Well, then listen. Now that he's a member of the Cleveland Browns, more people in Cleveland say, no, it's cool. He didn't do anything. But if he'd gone to the Pittsburgh Steelers, all the Browns fans would have been like, oh, here you go again. Ben retires and you're bringing in. So in the court of public opinion, I think he's been largely viewed as being guilty.
This is my point. Supreme Court justices, presidents of the United States have been accused of even more than this, right? They still were elected. They are still in office. They still can. But here's the thing.
And I care about morals for my politicians
but you know
more
what?
than my
There's
athletes.
no commissioner, though, that's going to rule on that.
That's true.
It's called the Senate.
No, it's called the it's not. It's called the court of public opinion. It's called the court of public opinion.
Here's my thing. I get the court of public opinion. Here's the thing. We grew up in the United States. It's called just due process or due process. All you got to do is wait till 2023. If he settles all these cases in 2023, then guess what? you get suspended.
And you know what? That might be what the commissioner wants. Here's what he gains by that.
He might kick the can.
The Browns
down the road.
play under that cloud of, is the hammer going to fall the whole year? And what the commissioner really wants, in my view, is for him to not be able to draw a paycheck in 2023. Because now he's hitting him where it hurts.
That's true.
Now he's taking it away.
Yeah.
Mike, do you have my graphic? So I thought about this long and hard. We're going to quickly pivot to what will happen. But I think it's going to be 4 games. I really do. And I think the reason is, I think 8, we'd all say, wow, he came down hard. A season, 2 seasons, we'd be blown away. Baseball is still, they're shocked at what Trevor Bauer got.
Yeah.
I think 8 games would elicit the response of, oh my God, is that harsh? No games would be like, wow, they let him off. So what is the commissioner going to do? He's going to try to please everybody, drive it down the middle. I think he'll get 4. That's what I would do if I was the commissioner. The next question, though, is what will the commissioner do? And we have a little bit of, Ray Rice, once the video came out, never saw a blade of grass on an NFL field again. Ben, I think it was originally 6 games, reduced to 3 or 4.
It's going to be 6. I think it's going to be 6.
Okay, so that's what will happen. 6 games. Okay.
I do. I think that signals, again, whether we like it or not, I get where you're coming from, G, and I agree with you. But in the end, I think the commissioner, conspiracy theory, he'd like it to hang over the Browns for a year. I think the league wants this over and done with, so they're not going to wait for this to settle.
Okay.
And I think it's got to come off as harsh, but not too harsh, and I think it'll be 6.
All right.
I got 4. I think it's going to be 4. Even though I do agree that if he wanted to make a real big deal, he would just play it out this season and wait till 2023 to get it done.
Right.
Because it would definitely hurt him more financially.
Sure.
But I think what Adam said, I think he just wants to get it over and
Bernie,
done with.
what do you got? What will he get?
I just hope he doesn't get the cloud hanging over us for the next year.
You want it decided one way or another.
I want it settled because the playing in December and January without the kind of the seed or demon of the possibility of a hammer falling for the playoffs or for the stretch
That's
drive.
A cloud nobody wants to play.
No, that's not in the best interest of Deshaun, but it's absolutely not in the best interest of the Browns and the 2022 playoff run that I believe we're absolutely talented enough to be a playoff team next year.
Great. G. Bush, what will happen?
I think
you said you would give him 0.
I would give him 0, but I think he gets 4.
Okay.
It's a happy medium. Like, I'm not stupid and I'm not naive. The reality of the situation is, you got to pay the piper. Somebody is going to say, look, man. Not only I think they're going to get him 4 games because they're kind of upset at the Browns, right? They kind of broke the rules with giving him that money in that contract even while this was going on.
The other owners are irate.
They're a little upset.
Yeah.
They're going to give him 4 games because it's like, hey, all right, that doesn't cripple the Browns. It doesn't shoot their playoff chances down. Plus, it's 4 games. They're like, okay, if you can make it through September and get to October and you can be 2-2, they're right back in it. They get over with. I think he gets 4 games. He may appeal. But I think they denied the appeal, so it doesn't look like they're backtracking. He ends up with 4 games.
Right. Guys, by the way, I do believe, and I'm serious here, that the commissioner is not actually a human being. He is a robot. I mean, he's completely uncomfortable whenever he talks. Have you ever seen a guy let's introduce the folks from the Special Olympics, and he can't even do that nicely. He looks so awkward.
By the way, he does give authentic dap when he's dapping.
He
people
does do
up.
that.
That's the only thing.
He's got the bro hug.
He got that for sure.
Yeah.
He got
Maybe
it.
he's an alien.
You know what? Wouldn't have you loved to had a camera in the room when he was asking some of his former players, friends, like, yo, how
you
does
do
it
that?
work?
How
You
you-
just,
how
like,
you-
open hand,
Is the
and you
arm-
swing the arm at the same time.
Wow.
You pull
Whatever
it
it
in.
is, they got him right for
Yeah,
sure.
he's-
They
yeah,
got him
you're right on that. I'm
He
glad
got
you made
the-
that
he
point.
got the dap.
Okay, so I'm never going to ride the fence because I think this show is about opinion. And when anybody tries to ride the fence, Bernie goes hard. I'm going to try to get you to pick a side because I think that's what sports fans do.
You have to think through what
You
you're
do,
gonna
you do. And I know we just
Okay.
caught you off the guard. Bernie had no idea any of the topics.
None.
So from a
I
friend to
didn't even
friend,
know
I
I was.
apologize.
I didn't even know the show was starting today.
I literally this morning, he's like, wait,
I called Jay to say hello this morning. Okay?
That's a true story.
Come on in.
Actually, it's partly true. I've been trying to get a hold of this guy, and we play phone tag a lot. So I'm not a fence rider. You're not a daily member, so we'll let you skate. But we have to come down hard. But as I think about this, guys, this is one topic for me. I'm going to give an incredibly wide zone, and I'm going to take a lot of grief from you guys. But the answer to the question, what will happen, is very complicated. I'm going to set a range, and I think that on the low end, it's going to be at least 4 games. At least 4 games.
Okay.
I think anything less than that, and the commissioner is going to take a beating. Remember, this isn't what the grand jury heard. This isn't what we've heard through public reports and press reports. Rodgers' team is doing a serious investigation. The investigative unit at the NFL, Bernie, as you know, they're FBI. They're CIA. They're legit folks. They're going to Houston. They've talked to the women. They've talked to people that know the women. They've had cell phone data. They've had text messages. They know it all. So Rodgers going to have all the information he needs to eventually make that decision. I was thinking the range was 4 games to a year. This is serious, guys. 22 women. Not that he's guilty, but it's a lot harder to get your mind around 22 than it was Trevor's 3. 22. Could it be a conspiracy? Yes. The chances of it being a conspiracy go down with each new voice. I think the commissioner knows he has to do something that is harsh and gets everyone's attention. I thought it would have been a year, but once Manfred ruled 2 years for Bauer, my high end went to 2 years.
Jay, this is
and
unacceptable.
I know that's a huge range.
It's unacceptable.
Not gonna
I
happen.
know. All right.
Not
Your
happening.
entire house is on the line. Your house. You lose
8 games.
8 games.
There it
8
is.
games. But I do. Hey, you're talking my crib, dog. You're talking my crib, dog.
They don't get him to change right away.
Yeah.
So you know what?
go.
I tried to put. I tried to.
He does.
I
He
tried.
does.
I mean,
Yeah,
4 to
yeah.
32. Come on. Get
And I'm
out of
like,
here.
well, listen, because I'm being a hypocrite. I tried to push Bernie. Maybe you should have tried to push Bernie. You got the answer out of me.
Come
by
on,
the way.
Bernie. Come on.
So
Bernie,
listen,
like, you ain't messing my checks up. Y'all Bernie,
Bernie's got the most beautiful farmland and acreage. Bernie is not making any bets with that. Mike, are we going to break and come back for final takes? What are we doing?
We do whatever we want.
What do we
talk
want
about
to
the
do,
Cavs.
guys?
We got. Let's go overtime today.
Okay, here's one thing
go
I want
past
to do.
one.
Look, he wanna
Before
get to
we
that
let
so
Bernie
bad.
go, because I told him we'd keep him for 30 minutes. He's
Yeah.
been on for way longer than that. Before we let you go, the thing I love most about talking to really polished athletes that have done something. I mean, you've been around for so long. You won a Super Bowl, the Cowboys, Miami, Cleveland. I've heard a lot of your football stories, and they're all entertaining. You've got a go-to story. You've got a favorite story. I don't know what it is, but I'm about to find out. I want your best. I'm speaking at a banquet, and they want one story. What do you tell?
I don't know about the brevity of this, but as a guy hitting my 40th surgery, 80 broken bones, 100 concussions, 14 seizures, to be able to actually sit here and be able to answer some of these questions and somewhat be able to enunciate, articulate, and communicate some multiple syllable words is actually very happy to be doing that. But growing up in Youngstown, Ohio, halfway between Pittsburgh and Cleveland, I get a lot of people that come up and ask me about, you must not like me because I'm a Steelers fan. And I'm really proud to be able to say that, you know, and actually the opposite. I actually love you that you're a Steelers fan because, you know, you guys have 6 Super Bowls over every generation. You guys have showed to be an organization that can win a Super Bowl and during any era of football. Except the 9 years that we kicked your backside.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that is great. That is great. That was a drought.
So that is an exactly. I'm not sure if that's a joke or a story, but it is factual.
It's factual. And not only that, it's not like that you just were kicking their rear ends every year. You guys were going to the AFC Championship. You were the relevant team out of the then AFC Central.
No Mark Malone. Forget him.
Fun time. I saw something on Facebook. It made me laugh. It was a fake tweet as if it was from Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
And it said, okay, Twitter, if I get to 1 million tweets, I'm going to buy the Steelers and I'm going to shut them down. And they put down the fake number that it had 999,000 likes. and so as a Browns fan, when I saw that, I'm like, well, I'm sure that's not real.
Yeah.
But I would like that in a heartbeat if we could get rid of them for good. But we do love them because that rivalry is it's back. which makes it great.
Yep.
It makes it great. Bernie.
Unfortunately, our division is actually
division
really
is, I think it's the sickest
Our
division in
division and our
football.
conference is at another
And the
level.
AFC West. I mean, they're both.
Yeah, no,
divisions
it's
are loaded.
AFC's loaded.
Yeah.
I'm going to fanboy for a minute. You were my idol growing up. You know this. I've told you this many times. You were my favorite player. I liked you because you were smart and you got the most out of the gifts God gave you. You changed the football lives of all of us for the decade or near decade that you were here. You gave us so many thrills. It makes me so happy to look at you and see you, the Bernie Kosar that you are today. You look great. You're as fit as ever. He's at his playing weight, guys. He's at his playing weight.
I'm only a couple of pounds.
I mean, isn't it incredible?
Yeah, well, that holistic.
You look great.
Only a couple
I
pounds.
couldn't be happy for your health. I know you're healthy. You're happy, and on behalf of all of Cleveland Browns fans, we love you. Thank you so much for all of the thrills that you gave us, and we're going to hold you to being a regular on the Ultimate.
I'll be
Cleveland
around
Sports Show.
here, and we'll talk more about the health and wellness that's helping out
Yes.
some of us
Because
ex-players.
he's
So
got a lot to
you're a
say on that
youngster.
topic.
We're going to avoid some of that headache issue that comes
appreciate
along.
that.
Comes
Yeah.
along
Well,
with
that's
our
what-
profession.
Bernie's
I
done
need
that
that,
for a lot.
seriously.
Bernie, thank you so much.
Awesome, guys.
Can't thank you
Good
enough.
night, Bernie.
Keep
We're
our
going to take a break.
keep our Cleveland Rams in line.
Yes,
Keep them in
Cleveland
mind,
Rams.
man.
Check them out. Go on Facebook. Follow them. Help them out. It's a great team, and they're doing some fun things.
428 Foundation.
428.
First show ever. Supposed to end at 1, but unlike other forms of media,
If
we
we want to
can do whatever the hell we want.
If we want to go over, we're going over.
Let's
We'll
go past 1. Come
We're
on.
going to take a break. When we
that
come back,
rolling.
final takes? Is that what
No,
we're doing when we come back?
Cavs.
We're going to
the
do
Cavs.
Cavs. Oh, we're really going
Gotta
to go
straighten
over.
you out.
Hey, I got a second job that I have to do after this.
Oh, forget that.
Too long. We're going to do a Cavs trade that's really ridiculous. That Bill
phenomenal.
loves.
It's on the
and,
fence.
And the final takes. All of our final takes, some of them will be fun, some of them will be serious. Today, mine is about a huge anniversary and a lifelong dream fulfilled. We'll do that when the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show comes back. Bernie, thanks, man.
All right, brother.
Well done. Great.
Recognize that feeling? It is the feeling of being together, enjoying the company of a familiar face, and sharing moments that matter to you, to me, to us. What matters to some could impact all of us, especially in a place like Northeast Ohio. Here, stories are shared from east to west to south. Stories of perseverance, of family, of love. If a story brings us together, it's what matters most.
Seeing, knowing, and understanding Northeast Ohio is something we take very seriously.
Because in our connected world, what happens in one community can have an impact on others.
Leading to difficult challenges and opportunities for reflection and growth.
So, for in-depth analysis of how today's top stories affect you, your family, and our communities across Northeast Ohio,
Join us for 3 News at 6.
so you know what matters most.
What matters most to me is family. Sometimes you don't realize how important it is until you're away from them.
What matters most to Jay? His family. He is a big family man. What matters most to me? My family, my safety, your safety.
I think the thing that most impresses me about Betsy is her versatility. Give her any assignment that involves going in front of a television camera, and she's going to knock it out of the park.
What's new with Betsy and Jay? Weekdays at 5 on 3.
When you watch Front Row, you never have to ask what's going on in Cleveland.
It is our job to get you up to speed on the latest news and events so you can enjoy all our city has to offer. We are bright, bold, and all about the action.
Whether you're a diehard Browns fan, waiting on breaking news, or searching for a special event for a weekend away.
Our hometown has it all. So join us. We're waiting for you. Front Row, weeknights at 7.
Okay, so one of the things we're going to do when we have big name guests come in, and Bernie, I think, qualifies.
Yeah.
We're going to ask them to sign a piece of memorabilia on our set. We did that with Cold Pizza at ESPN, and you can make a lot of money auctioning those items off if you change them out year to year. And Bernie was the first. He signed the Browns helmet
right
back
there.
there. Bernie said, I want to sign the Browns helmet in the sweet spot so everybody can see it. And there it is, big and bold, right there
Nice,
on
good
the
shot.
on the front. And I can't thank Brony enough. He is a longtime friend, but I will say this, that one of the biggest hearts of anyone I've ever met. Brony hates to see anybody that is without. And there's been times in his life where he's been taken advantage of that by people that love him because he can't say no. At one time, he told me a story that he had 90 cell phone bills of family and friends that he paid. 90 guys. 90. Oof. And this is when cell phone bills were, it was way before the unlimited plan. And Bernie called himself the unlimited friends and family plan. Hey, and at some point, he had to finally look at it and say, no, I can't do this anymore.
He seems to be doing better now.
He's doing so well, financially, but physically, mentally. He's in such a great place, and I couldn't be happier.
That's very
all right, Producer Mike, going to the Cavs trade, right?
Here we go.
Put this graphic up. Let's go right to it.
Here we go.
This is nonsense in its simplest form. So Bleacher Report and all these websites and everything else, they do this all the time because they know fans love these proposed trades. Some of them actually make sense. Some of them are completely ridiculous. Guys, they're the moving parts. Murray and McDermott are the big ones. And yes, that absolutely makes the Cavs a better team. But a trade has two parts. You have to not only look what you're getting, but what you're giving up. There's too much in that right column for me to say that this is a good trade. But Bull,
Jay, I apologize, but you lost in the soup here. Let me tell you something. DeJounte Murray is a great NBA player. He's an all-star NBA player. And unlike Colin Sexton, who I like, when everybody else in this town was killing him his rookie year, I was actually like, he's a pretty good player. But the problem with Colin Sexton, and I love the way he was a teammate last year. A lot of guys, when they're hurt, they're gone.
No, he was there.
He was traveling through the present. I'm not somebody who's like, let's just get rid of Colin Sexton. Not at all.
Yeah.
But DeJounte Murray is a star. And unlike Colin Sexton, who is a scorer and can do nothing else at a high level, at least at this point in the NBA, this guy does everything.
That's like saying the woman's beautiful, but that's all she has.
No, Jay, because there's more than one part of the game.
Yes, but you need scorers.
But he can score, but he can also rebound. And he's a great passer, and he's a great defender.
Well, listen, I'm all in. If it's Murray for Sexton, I'm all in. You had me at hello.
But nobody would do that.
No, of course not.
Of course, because Murray's a much better player.
But you also don't want to get completely blindsided and give up all those
other guys are just
draft
pieces. It's 2 draft picks.
So it's a first and it's a second.
No, just the first. On the graphic,
there was two. It said 2 first.
It said 2 first. A 2022 and a 2025.
There's also a second
top
rounder in there,
5
right?
protected.
Well, who cares about the second round?
Are
The
they protected?
The 2022 pick, who cares? It's a mid-first round pick. If this team is as good as I think they're going to be with DeJounte Murray and all the young guys they have, I don't care about a 20. First of all, the 2025 pick would be lottery protected.
Yeah.
So if they happen to stink, they keep the pick.
Well, they're not going to stink with that lineup.
Exactly. So who cares about?
Yeah. So
who cares
throw
about
that
the
off there.
23rd
That's
pick
not...
in the 2015 in the 2025 draft? Isaac Okoro can defend, can't do much.
And that's why I want to keep him. No, but
DeJounte Murray, you get an all-in-one player. He does everything. There's no bad
Is he
part
really
of this
that
game.
good at defense?
He's excellent.
No.
See, so was he first team on defense?
No, Bull's
So what are we talking about?
Also, Bull's
I
also
didn't
saying
say
he's
he's
a
an
great
elite
player.
defender.
If I ask Bull, separate of this conversation, write down right now the top 25 players in the NBA. Murray's name, you would not have put it in
No,
there.
back end of that list.
Okay, well, for me, great is the top 25.
Well, whatever. I mean, we're parsing words a little bit.
So he's really good.
Colin Sexton's not
so
the top
Colin
75.
Sexton. Colin Sexton is in the top 75.
No, he's not.
Now,
Yes, he is.
here's where the DeJounte Murray thing comes into play. DeJounte Murray can do 4 or 5 things that really help.
4 or 5 does everything.
4 or 5 that really
He's good at everything.
That take the Cavs. Not just in the vacuum, the Cavs.
Yeah.
He's going to rebound the ball.
Yep.
He's a better passer.
Far better.
He can score the ball just as good as Colin Sexton. He's bigger than Colin Sexton.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he fits better, in my opinion, than with Darius Garland in the backcourt. You don't get posted up with smaller guards. 2 small guards, we learned how that worked. It was
How
called
dangerous
Mo Williams,
are they together,
Mo
G?
Listen,
forget about it.
Together?
But
I think they get Eastern Conference Finals.
You don't know, but you don't know how
no.
they gonna be though. He's with the Spurs. They suck.
Because he's
He
got nothing around him.
has to have those numbers.
Thank you, Tyvis.
He's
Thank
got
you.
nothing around
Yeah,
him.
but you remember
Kevin Love was a 2020 guy
Thank
in
you.
Minnesota. He
Thank
didn't
you.
have to do that.
Yeah, but that's just scoring. Kevin Love got
20
plenty of
rebounds
rebounds
too.
here.
No,
It ain't that.
Wait, Kevin Love didn't suck here. He was a big part of a
No, but he
championship.
wasn't the player that he was in Minnesota. In Minnesota, they
I
were
know
talking
that,
about
Jay.
him as the MVP.
He was never going to
He
be
was
that
never
player.
going to be that guy with LeBron.
But
DeJounte Murray's defense, his passing ability, those things are not there just because the team's
I just okay.
If anything, it
I'll wrap
hurts
it up
his
this
assist
way.
total that the team stinks.
I think it's too much to give up.
It's
Number
a lot.
one. Number one. And
Jay like picks.
Number two, I like Colin Sexton. All he does is score. I watched the Cavs last year have too many games where they didn't have anybody that could find the hoop.
But he scores too. You're saying it as if you're trading for a guy who doesn't score.
Exactly, but
we need
I've
somebody
already
off
got
the
a guy
bench.
in Sexton that can score. When the team's got
But he
5
can't
straight
do
trips down the
anything
floor
else.
with no buckets, he can take over
So
offensively.
can Murray.
What is?
I know he can.
What's Sexton?
But it's
what is-
not just Murray for Sexton.
What is the ceiling for Sexton and the Cavs?
I don't know, but
he
I'll
need
tell
to
you
be the
this.
sixth man of the year. That's what he needs.
I think they can make the Eastern Conference Finals as constituted with Sexton. Guys, they were
All they had to do
they
was
had
be
so
healthy.
many injuries last
Yeah.
year. We saw when they were healthy what they could be. I also think that they put way too high of a priority on defense. In the regular season, teams don't play defense.
Yeah.
And I thought that Bickerstaff and Love and some of the veterans would have been able to figure that out and say, guys, pump the brakes on the defense. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes twice the energy to play defense as it does offense. They peaked in January because they were exhausted.
But you guys are saying we don't know who Murray is with this team. We don't know who Sexton is with this team.
That's
He's
true.
barely
No, we
played
don't.
with
But
this
this
team.
is the thing.
but
But
I like
the,
his chances
the
with this
chemistry
team.
is already there. The players love Sexton.
I agree with that.
They're already there. I
This
think
team
everything
was fun
would
to watch,
jam.
Bull. I heard you say that a million times.
I love this
Hey.
team,
And
and
I-
I think you're right. I think there's I think they can go to the Eastern Conference Final.
Let's give it a shot. You know what?
But
Let them play next
Murray-
year
I'm about to say,
healthy.
that's what I say.
Let
Let it roll, and then
Just like
mid-season trade.
Yeah, you went to the playoffs with Baker, but Deshaun
Right.
Watson's a lot better.
There it
Yeah,
is.
you can go to the playoffs with
All right.
Sexton, but DeJounte Murray's a lot better.
All right.
He's a lot better.
You giving up a lot,
You
boy.
flip
I'm
me.
just telling
You
you.
I'm
flip
not
me.
saying- you gotta
I'll
give
take-
up to get.
You
I
flip
can't
me.
believe you.
I'll take Murray.
Flip
Come on,
flop.
G.
Wow.
Listen, you flip me. Give me sign the trade up.
Hey,
I'm not-
does Jordan
do
make
this.
flip-flops?
No.
Yes,
Actually,
yes, he
do.
does.
He needs flip-flops.
The Jordan,
He needs the Jordan flops. I want those tomorrow.
the retro flops.
Yes.
It's too much. That's
Mike,
called mortgaging your
Mike,
future right
what do you
there.
want to do from here?
Going good bet, bad bet next.
Good
Oh,
bet,
good bet, bad bet.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
okay, so we know that everybody loves to, right now for entertainment purposes only, go through and look at the lines and see where they could make money if gambling was legal. Thank God
Yes.
it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming to Ohio. It has to happen by January 1st of
Right.
2023. My hope is it happens before football season because let's face it, football season is already the greatest sport, the greatest season of the calendar. But if you could lay a little bit of money and make it even more interesting, it becomes that much better. So good bet, bad bet. We're going to throw 3 bets out every day, and we're going to tell you whether that's a good bet, bad bet. First bet, Guardians and the White Sox. So in baseball, it's all about the pitching matchup.
Right.
The Guardians, 50 cents for me.
Another
The
one.
Guardians are a 1.5 run underdog. Good bet, bad bet on the Guardians to cover with the 1.5.
I'm going to go good bet. I am often going to pick a team when they're getting a run. I like the way the Guardians' offense is cooking right now. Zach Plesac going back to when he got suspended for playing baseball cards with his girlfriend or whatever she was. Since then, he's been very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Right? At times he looks great. At times he looks lousy. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah.
And I know the White Sox have righted the ship, and they're playing well right now. But so are the. I almost said it.
I know you
Almost.
did. I know you did. You stopped.
I almost said it. I haven't said.
So are the Guardians.
And I look at this game as a 1-run game either way.
Okay.
So I'll go with the Guardians.
All right.
I got a good bet as well. I mean, I like the way that the Guardians have been playing. I think if they just continue that on, it's good that they have this momentum right now so they can continue to ride that wave. You know, the White Sox, even though they're dealing with some injuries, they are playing really well.
I got to get that.
I got to start.
That game is on point. I mean, just look at them.
I could wear that same outfit. I wouldn't look half that
No,
good. I mean,
nobody's
come on.
pulling that off but us. G. Bush, good bet, bad bet.
Oh, listen, this is easy money, man. I got this jacket on.
Yeah, you're good bet.
You're
all about that.
definitely good,
no
bro.
way he's not.
Good bet. Gee, this was all in the cards for me.
All right. I'm not unlike you, Bull. I think most baseball games are actually decided by more than 1 run. So for me, it's 2 runs. It might as well be because for the purpose of this bet. So I'm saying that no, this is a bad bet. I don't like the way. Listen, I
you gotta be that guy.
I'm not going to be a homer just because I love the Guardians. I want them to win, but I do think it's a bad bet just because Plesac has been so inconsistent this year.
Well, he might
and
be
also,
good. Just,
the Guardians have been win 2, lose 2, win 2, lose 2. They're coming off a hot streak. They've won 4 of 5. I think it's in the cards for them.
By the way, that streak
Bad
finally
bet.
ended. There was finally a series that
I
ended
know.
without a sweep or a split.
I know. It's unbelievable. All right, let's go to the NBA. And I hate NBA regular season lines because You don't know if the guys are going to bring it on any given night. In the playoffs, it's a little different. So the Warriors are playing Memphis tonight. Golden State leads that series 2-1.
Yeah.
Morant's out. They say he's out. They say he's unlikely tonight. Golden State is favored by 10.5.
Yes.
Is that a good bet or bad bet?
Love this. A Golden State favorite. No, it's a bad bet.
Yeah.
It's a bad bet.
So they're not covering.
Memphis is not only going to cover, they're going to win this game.
Wow. So you think Morant's playing?
I think he's going to play.
Yeah.
That's a bad man right there.
Yeah.
John
Listen.
Morant. He is phenomenal.
Most improved, right?
But
easily.
The whole rest of the team is discounted. They play. I know it's the regular season, but when he was out, they played great without him.
Yeah.
It's not the whole. Obviously, he's their best player, but it's a really good. You don't win as many games as they did if you're only one player.
And 10.5's a lot.
That's a lot of points.
Playoff game.
That's a lot of points.
Also, Golden State's up 2-1, so for Memphis, they got no room for error.
And
You go
Golden
down
State
3-1 unless you're the
they're
Cavs.
really good,
the series
guys,
is over.
but they're not the team that they once were.
No.
If Klay Thompson start playing like he played,
Well,
last
but that's a big if.
That's a big
true.
if.
Yeah.
That's true.
Good bet, bad bet for you.
It's a bad bet. I don't think Golden State's gonna win by 10.5.
Yeah.
And plus, you got to think, even if Ja doesn't play, the Memphis did really well this season without
exactly.
him. Like they
And
had a
that's just
great
lot.
record without
That's
him,
so
so I
many
think they
points.
can get it done.
Y'all cats be tripping.
Wait, you're taking this?
That's a good bet.
Wow.
You got Chef Curry. Do you see how well Poole is playing?
He is
and,
playing
and
really well.
Playing, listen, this could be one of them games where the guy, the announcer, what's his name, Mike Bremer, or I don't know what his name.
Yeah,
he just says,
Maybe he should stop.
bang.
He should stop
Listen,
grabbing John Morant's knee.
Bang. He just when he hits you like that,
Yeah.
that means you down 20. That's the new he's on fire.
Yeah.
Bang!
Yeah.
Right there, 20. Listen, it's over.
I
20
think it's
points.
too. I think it's
That's
too big of a. It's too big of a line for
20.
a playoff game.
It's the Warriors.
In my mind.
20.
First of all, I think Morant's playing. I just do.
Yeah.
I think gamers
20.
like this. We talked about on our rehearsal show on Friday. I was the only guy that said Philly's going to win. The line was
Because
3.
I thought
said,
Embiid was out, then he
and
played.
I didn't want. I didn't want to say this.
Yeah.
He had
on air,
Embiid
but
had to play.
I said Embiid's playing. Their
Yeah.
back was against the wall.
Yeah,
they
he had
played.
to.
It was an easy cover. I'm saying that Morant is definitely playing. In my view, I think he's a gamer, and gamers show up.
Yeah.
He plays, and I think Golden State might win, but it's not going to be by 10.
By the way, guys,
So
why
bad
did the
bet.
Warriors get a pass for grabbing his knee?
I know. I don't understand.
That
It's
wasn't
happening
that
in the entire
crazy.
series.
Wait a minute.
How do you grab
Grabbed
him?
it, pulled it.
He was playing defense, and it was in the act.
He
Like, come
grabbed
on.
his knee.
Do you really,
pal.
believe
I
that
think
somebody
both.
will grab somebody's
I'm
knee
not saying he was
intentionally?
trying to hurt him, but
Well,
he did grab his
That's
knee.
like somebody
He
saying you
was
trying to
swiping
grab
at a
my
ball.
belt loop.
Yeah, like,
I don't
it
see it
make
that way.
sense.
It's
Grab
pretty
my
clear
belt
to
loop.
me.
You can't. What? No.
The
That's-
NBA's
that's
never been
ridiculous.
consistent on this.
They're-
They've never
yes.
been consistent.
Everybody killed
It all-
Memphis,
it all
and
comes
Memphis
down
got
to-
humiliated last game. Humiliated.
Oh, I know they did.
They got a lot of pride.
All
They're
right,
gonna
here's
come
our
back.
last one. Celtics and Bucks. So this game is at Milwaukee. Milwaukee currently leads the series 2-1. I'm not giving a team line on a pick. I want the under. 212 is the over-under line.
Yeah.
I think every game in the series, Mike, every game in the series has been under. You taking the over or under?
Jason Tatum has a monster game tonight. I'm going over.
Going over. Okay.
Yeah, good bet.
What do you got?
Bad bet. There's no way that they're going over 220.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the defense is going to be played a lot tonight.
Yeah, that's
There's
what these
just no way.
teams are doing. We've seen it.
Horrible bad bet. 80s game. This is an 80s
game?
No, this is a 1980s NBA
oh,
What are you
playoff.
saying?
I'm like,
Larry
you're
Bird
in the
coming with the short shorts. Larry Bird in the short shorts.
Yeah.
Is that what we're
So
getting
they're going to
tonight?
physical it up?
Yeah, they're going to beat this up, knock
right.
down, drag out. This is way
We're in
under bad
overtime.
bet.
We're
right.
officially in overtime,
Yeah,
guys.
I know. We're over
Love
the 2
it.
hours.
Love it.
And you know what? No big deal. We'll go until we're done. Yeah, I think it's going under.
Yeah.
These teams play defense. They're going to continue the trend. We're going to take a break. Everybody's going to gather their final thoughts. Every day on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, we're going to give our final take. Something that moves us one way or another.
I'm angry.
Sometimes it'll be sports-based. Sometimes it'll be Bulls irate that you can't take a grocery cart into the Heinen's parking lot.
Absurd.
Whatever it might be, find out what the four of us are hot about when the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show comes right back. Stay with us.
I promise.
News you can trust should be news you can rely on.
And every night at 11 on What's Next, you can rely on us.
A new legal twist for Brown.
Today also marks the beginning of
We're here, and we are going to continue.
So the Guardians have to play almost. You can rely on us to help you go to bed better informed with stories that prepare you for tomorrow.
And with news that's relevant to your life. We'll make sure that you're ready for what's next.
Because being ready for tomorrow is what matters most.
We face challenges every day, some bigger than others, and we never know what's around the corner.
Through the highs and the lows, whatever we face it together. Each morning on Go, we are here with the facts, because what impacts you impacts all of us.
And understanding those facts helps us to make informed decisions for our families, our communities, and our future.
We are here for you every step of the way. Go, weekday mornings, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Recognize that feeling? It is the feeling of being together, enjoying the company of a familiar face, and sharing moments that matter to you, to me, to us. What matters to some could impact all of us, especially in a place like Northeast Ohio. Here, stories are shared from east to west to south. Stories of perseverance, of family, of love. If a story brings us together, it's what matters most.
When you watch Front Row, you never have to ask what's going on in Cleveland.
It is our job to get you up to speed on the latest news and events so you can enjoy all our city has to offer. We are bright, bold, and all about the action.
Whether you're a diehard Browns fan, waiting on breaking news, or searching for a special event for a weekend away,
Our hometown has it all. So join us. We're waiting for you. Front Row, weeknights at 7.
Cleveland sports show, so we're going to wrap it up every day by going around the horn and what's hot on our minds. Bull, the stage is yours.
Guys, I can't take it anymore. Yes, I'm very loud, I get it. But you know what drives me crazy? Yesterday I'm driving, it's a Sunday, it's very casual, and all of a sudden, feel like making love. This guy next to me in his stupid Jeep is playing his music so loud that it's in my car. I'm feeling the echo of the drums and the guitar and whatever the hell else. I did feel like making love until this idiot, this fat white guy next to me, I don't know why it matters that he's fat and white, but he was. It's next to me, and he's blasting this music. Let me, a public service announcement here, please. That's me, getting angry in my car. I got the sweet vehicle. I'm making a lot of money in this new gig, so I can afford a new car.
Shoot it up a class.
That's it. But listen here. Nobody wants to hear your music. Nobody. I keep my music. First of all, you're destroying your eardrums. This music was so loud you could have heard it 2 blocks away. I hate when people blast the music. It's like, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to whatever. I don't care what the music is, even if I like it. I love Feel Like Making Love. Bad Company's an awesome song. But now when this idiot's playing in his car and my head is thumping, I have a headache now because this idiot's blasting his music. So, folks, please, you listen to whatever you want. I don't care what style of music you're into. It's all good with me. But I don't want to hear your music. If I wanted to, I'd have it on. I'm listening to fantasy football radio or some dopey stuff that I was listening to. I don't know, but I don't want to hear your music.
Do you know how much of a dad you sound like right now?
I am a dad.
That's the dad comment of the show so far.
It's sad because I used to be that guy he's talking about.
He's the guy.
I've calmed down over the years.
Sound system's old.
Oh, you got to have something in the trunk.
Alpines.
If it's not bumping in the trunk.
Giant woofers in the trunk.
Yeah. He's got the old AM radio transistor speaker in his car. All right, G. Bush.
Man, let's step up. Let me piggyback off of what you was just talking about. I got a little something I need to talk to the people about. Listen, have you ever been in that grocery store, maybe the mall, and you glance up and look up and somebody catch eyes with you real quick? Just catches you in your face. You're like, I don't know why this person's staring at me. But you look back up and they're smiling. You can tell they kind of know you. They look around and you try to kind of skirt around them like, okay, let me dip over here real quick. I'm gonna stop looking at this person. And then they stop you. They go up to you and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, G. Bush. Now you're screwed. They know who you are, but you have no clue who they are. Now, listen, if you've been in this situation, you got 1 or 2 ways you can do this. You can fake it till you make it. Yeah, how you been doing? How's the kids? You don't know how many kids he got. You don't even know if he married. You just judging by his age group. You just judging by the way he looks. And if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, please don't do this. This is a bad job out of you, in words of Bull. This is terrible. Don't be this guy. Hey, you don't know who I am, do you? You don't know my name. Listen, I went to school with you in 5th grade. You think I memorized what you look like in the class roster in 5th grade? Look, man, If you pull up on me, just do me a solid. Tell me your name, your date of birth, and where you know me from, and it may jog my memory. Else, I'm going to have to run away from you because this is the problem. Don't make somebody do 21 questions if they don't know who you are. Yeah. Give me a hint, man. Just give me a hint, and we all good.
Hey, we need to have a conversation. I got a million tips for you.
Yeah, I hate that.
There's that, yeah.
Big guy, what's up, man? Great to see you. Not great to see you again because maybe you never met them. At the Journey concert, my wife got the biggest kick out of this. I was at the Journey concert Saturday night. By the way, unbelievable show. Unbelievable show. Woman comes up. Oh, my God. I watch you, obviously acting like she knows me. I just act like I know them back. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. How are you? All of a sudden, she was disarmed. She was like, wait, have we ever met?
Look.
Now she's confused.
No, but now you flipped it. Now it's on her.
He was doing it at the Guardian. By the way, I thought G was going to say, because we've talked about this off the air, that the person thought you were Byron Leftwich.
Oh, no.
Because that has happened.
Put that up. When we get back to when we
need
go
a
tomorrow,
split screen of him and
we're
Byron
going to show
Leftwich.
you just how much I look like Byron Leftwich. My
Especially
mom
with hats.
says it. Yes.
Especially when you guys
I
were
put
in
a hat
baseball.
on.
I've never seen the two of them in the same room at one time.
Telling you.
I would play them against them at Marshall, and when I went to OU, yeah, we look a lot alike.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's like
Tyvis, you are on the hot seat, my friend. It's time for your final take.
So my final take is this. Listen, as an athlete and as a former athlete, we put a lot of time, effort, and energy into our sport. You know, we really want to be the best and put the best product out there. When it comes to dealing with fans, the booing is okay. Like that's part of the game. That makes the game fun. You even want to talk a little trash, that's cool. That's only gonna make us play harder. But one thing that I don't tolerate is when you disrespect somebody's family. And last night I watched Chris Paul yell at a Mavs fan for pushing or punching his mom and pushing his wife. And it's like, we gotta draw the line somewhere. Like a lot of the times, y'all taking it a little too far as of lately with the Kyrie stuff and all that. It's getting ridiculous. Just be respectful and just keep it at Bulls. If you want to say something negative, just keep it about the sport. As long as you keep it there, that's all fun and games. But when you take it past that, it's too far.
I want to applaud you for that.
Appreciate it.
Well said. Fans are out of control.
I'm telling you, I love going to a game and cheering for my team, but it doesn't have to be about going subhuman and insulting a player's mother or wife. When it gets personal,
it
too
drives
far. Me
yeah.
nuts.
It's not even about the sport no more.
These guys are human. Yes, they're paid handsomely to do their job. If you don't like the way they're doing it, boo them.
Yes.
But be respectful and be a human being, because and it happens in all sports and not just Cleveland. Every city in America does it. We saw the Yankees throwing stuff last week
of course.
on the
happens
field.
all over the place.
Just do yourself a favor. There are kids that are around you. Set an example. Be positive. Cheer your guys until you're blue in the face. And if you want to boo the other guys, that's cool. But to your point, don't cross that line, man.
100% agree.
It's
Although
so
booing your own players, even if you're mad at them, is stupid. How does that make them better?
I know. It's
boo the opponent, fine.
Yeah.
But the personal stuff's disgraceful.
Yeah. All right. Very well done, guys. All right. I'm going to call for my video mic when I want it. I want to start by saying I consider myself the luckiest man in the entire world, because I've had the opportunity to chase not one dream, not two, but many dreams and catch them. Most people are happy if they can do that in life once. Today is something that is new for all of us. I know that Bull, Tyvis, G. Bush, we're all excited about the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and we should be. But while this marks the beginning of something, today is a very important anniversary to me. May 9th, 1987. Guys, 35 years ago right now, I was walking across the stage at Bowling Green State University, graduating from college. I was never sure that when I went to college I would make it that far, but I did. In fact, I got my diploma right now, 35 years ago. Right now, I was getting my diploma. And it changed my life. Guys, you can take the tape. I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm the luckiest guy ever. First, I was the first from my family to graduate college. I was the son of Chuck and Marie, and all I ever wanted to do is to go on and play baseball. I wanted to be a Cleveland Indian. And I would tell guys, anybody that would listen, I'm going to play for the Cleveland Indians. I wasn't shy about that. I never made it. but I was still lucky enough to catch another dream. I actually played minor league baseball.
What?
Pitched 3 games for 2 different teams, and guys, I know this is going to blow you away, but I didn't suck. I actually have my own page on baseballreference.com. Struck out a first-round draft pick. In my last professional start, I threw 2 hitless innings. I chased that dream and I found it, but I wasn't done. From there, I was lucky enough to go on and talk about sports for a living. How many people are so lucky they can catch a pot of gold at the end of a second rainbow? I made great lifelong friends. I worked with the best in the business along the way. I interviewed the biggest sports celebrities, and not just sports celebrities. I talked to everybody from Tiger Woods to the great Magic Johnson. That was my job for 16 years, and I was so blessed to do it. Hell, not just athletes, from Snoop Dogg to Dr. Dre to Ice Cube, all my rap favorites to Drake. And all along the way, guys, I wore my Cleveland sports fandom and the love of the Ohio State Buckeyes on my sleeve for everybody to see. I never backed down. I was the Cleveland guy. And I was so lucky on July 11th, 2014 to be the guy that was hosting SportsCenter that told the world that he was coming home. And in that moment, I realized I got to go home too. I miss home. It was when I was covering the Indians and the Cavs and the Browns that I had the biggest smile on my face. That's what I was meant to do. I wanted to come home. And having the opportunity to do it at ESPN for so long was great, but it was nothing compared to doing it where you want to be. And my whole life, I always knew I wanted to be here, by that bridge, and at Progressive Field, and at First Energy Stadium, and at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And I wanted to be here because, guys, we have the best fans in the world. And I know that because I've been to every sports city in America. Our fans are the best. So finally, I find my real pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This is what I was born to do. I was supposed to talk about sports in Cleveland, Ohio. And I thank all of you guys sitting on this panel and everybody involved in this project in giving me the opportunity 35 years to the day when I set out into the world having no idea how this thing was going to play out, to know that I would catch my ultimate dream right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I didn't know that's what it was going to be, but here I am. And I want to thank everybody that took time out of their day-to-day to watch this stream. I hope you make us a habit.
Yes. Before we do that,
it's going to be good.
The real champ.
Oh, bro.
The real champ in the building.
There we go.
You see, he had Magic Johnson with him, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless.
That's my dog, Stephen
This
A.
is the real champ.
That's my
you
dog.
You think you got followers, you ain't got no followers. My man.
No,
that was
Jay Crawford.
Dick and Jeremy Shapp level emotion right
Listen,
there.
That was really good.
Nothing that moves me more than my people being. You can have a great job, but if it's not where you're supposed to be, it's not your pot of gold. And my pot of gold is in Cleveland, Ohio, covering the sports teams that I've grown up loving since I was old enough to know what a ball was, what baseball was. I love being here. I love this opportunity, guys. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a wild ride. We're going to have a lot I
think we should go fists in.
Absolutely.
Hey, fists in.
Guys.
Here we go.
Here
I
we
got to
go.
get up.
Hey,
Let me
hey,
go.
hey,
Right.
hey,
Short.
hey,
Here we go.
Hey, Tyler's
Here we go.
break it down on 3.
Shoot, we got to do it for the land. The land on 3.
Oh, I love
1, 2, 3.
The land! Bernie Kosar, Tim Couch, guys, thank you very much. All of our behind-the-scene crews, too many to name, but guys, you have been incredible.
They've been
We're
working
gonna keep
hard.
it rolling. Today's day 1. The bus doesn't stop. We're back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Boxer from the Cleveland area, Sean Porter's going to be on. He loves all sports, so he'll bring it hot and heavy. We've got a long list of folks that are going to be regular contributors. We hope you make us a habit. We love you, Cleveland. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page. Click the notification button so you know when we're on. We'll see you tomorrow.